Hello everyone and welcome back to Radiant Moon Tarot. My name is Victoria. Today we are talking about the full moon in the sign of Scorpio. This is happening on the 23rd of April of 2024, and we are bringing in, which is carrying on the theme of April, a lot of intense energy coming in here, but it's with a purpose. So in today's video, we're going to be having a look at all the major energies and influences behind this full moon. We're also going to be pulling some cards for each individual sign to see where this is having a little bit more of an influence or impact on you. So I will be putting all of the timestamps in the description box and the comments section down below. You can easily navigate between your sun, moon, and rising signs if you want to get the whole picture. This full moon, Scorpio, woo, intense, right? Whenever we have a full moon in Scorpio, it always carries an extra layer of intensity. Scorpio energy itself is ruled by Pluto. Pluto goes deep, goes into the shadows, right? So this is where we can do some emotional deep dives, some emotional healing. This is bringing about some changes, right? And it's changes with a purpose to figure out where we're stuck, where we're giving our personal power away, and where we need to free ourselves. The big theme is change and freedom. We'd all like to be a little bit more free, don't we? This energy is also releasing control, right? Because when we need to get our power back, right, it usually represents that something has a hold over us in some way, something has control over us in some way. And with Pluto being there, this can really highlight for you people or situations that are not necessarily operating in your best interests or are really no longer good and healthy for you. It's going to also highlight some aspects of your own personal day-to-day habits, patterns, and behaviors. But there could also be some things coming out of the woodwork that you kind of, things can really pop right back up in this energy, things that are deeply rooted, deeply seated, and this is where things can really come to light. So we do have this extra intensity there. We have a lot of layered energy with this particular full moon. We have Mercury still in retrograde. So there's this big energy here of reflection. Reflect, renew, regroup, refocus, reassess, reevaluate, right? Full moons are a time of harvest, things manifesting in your life, things coming to fruition, but they also illuminate things, right? So the full moon can show where you need to work on something in your life or where you need to make some important changes, whether it's internal or external. Some of you could be going through some changes in your relationships. Some of you could be doing a little bit of emotional healing, but some of you, of course, have some blessings coming to fruition. This full moon is linked back to the new moon in Scorpio that we had 6 months ago. So go way back, roll back the time machine, have a look to see what you were doing, where were you setting your intentions, what were you starting, what were you changing, what was most prevalent in your life back at that Scorpio new moon. And this is where you're reflecting to see how far have I come, what have I put on the back burner, what have I neglected, what is working for me, right? So this can really kind of highlight what your next steps may be. Of course, full moons do indicate the close of a cycle. This is a close of a 6-month cycle before we embark on something a little bit new as we, in 2 weeks from now, step into a new moon in the sign of Taurus, right? So what doors do you want to open for you? What do you want to repair in your relationships? But also, where are you not finding resources? You could be really figuring out how to open some new doors at this time. So a lot of really kind of digging deep and being really honest and truthful with a lot of this energy. But we do have a few days before this full moon, we have a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. Now, this can be really wonderful. It can also be quite expansive or explosive, right? Typically, this energy, it only comes about every 12 years. So that's one thing to keep in mind. It is a long conjunction here, so it's not a one-day event. It kickstarts a cycle. It's going to last a couple of years. But Jupiter in conjunction with Uranus can really show what the possibilities are for the future. And with Jupiter being our most beneficial planet, we can find at this time that something is brought to us. Something might be given to us because Jupiter likes to give us things, right? Jupiter is a planet of expansion, growth, abundance, good luck, good fortune, philosophy, expansion of the mind, right? We can gain some wisdom or deeper understanding when we have Jupiter dancing up around in the sky for us there. And when it's conjunct with Uranus, this is really showing us the potential of what our future could be if we could only change this thing, or if we could only let go of this thing, right? Or if we could only step forward and take a leap of faith and try something, because Uranus, the tarot card associated with Uranus is the Fool. It's Aquarian energy coming in here, right? Aquarians are forward thinking, forward moving, big picture, right? And a very futuristic kind of energy, right? But it's like, I don't know where this is going to go, but I'm just going to jump right in. So anything that's been holding you back, some fears, some insecurities, some doubts, this can be where something really does get highlighted for you, and you may find your opportunities to open some doors and do something kind of interesting and maybe even exciting. So this is a really important and really positive conjunction. You do need to do a little bit of work with it though. Okay, it's like, here's a seed of opportunity. It's up to you whether to run with it or whether to drop it, right? So keep your arms open, keep your hands out, and see what the universe is bringing you. Especially when we've got full moon energy, right? Because something can manifest in your life. Now we do have Taurus energy here. Venus rules Taurus, so Venus can bring us some love and romance, can bring us some creative energies here, can bring us new beginnings, but can also bring us the resources that we need to get something done or to make some changes. So this is an opportunity to transform any aspect of your life that you desire, right? But we got to be willing to do some work, right? Nothing is free, okay? And the things we work for always hold greater value anyway. But just be a little bit aware at this full moon that we do also have a Pluto in Aquarius, which is squaring the sun and the moon. Okay, so there could be some power struggles here at this time, right? Which can be highlighted by that Scorpio full moon anyway. And, a little bit of a push and pull, a little bit of power struggle, right? It's like we're squaring off with someone or something in our world. And this can be where we either resolve something, we clear the air, we get something out in the open, or something could explode, right? So this can be that catalyst moment for some of you where you finally find your freedom. And it's probably been something that's been stuck for quite a while. But let's get into each individual sign and let's see what this full moon is highlighting for you guys. There's a lot of energy around this, obviously, but we're going to see how we can get it working for you in the best possible way. So like I said before, I'm going to put all of the timestamps in the description box and in the comment section down below, and make it easier for you to navigate. But I hope you guys all have a wonderful, wonderful full moon. Ground protect your energy, do your full moon rituals, do your banishing, do your clearing, do your cleansing. But just embrace the energy and be in the flow, right? That's the best way to navigate this kind of stuff, is be in the flow, be open to change. Whenever we resist something, that's when things get super difficult, right? It's like we can take a difficult situation or an intense situation and we can just make it that much worse, right? So be in the flow, compromise, keep an open heart, keep an open mind. And this is sometimes where we can really find a little bit of magic in the air. So I'll see you guys in your each individual sign. We're actually going to start with Scorpio. Hello there, Scorpio, and welcome to your full moon reading. Okay, so this is, of course, the full moon is occurring in your first house, right? This is all about you, yourself, your appearance, your view upon the world. You might be making some changes in your life here right now. You might be changing how you deal with situations and people around you. You might be discovering some information about yourself. You may reveal something about your identity, right? So maybe you're sharing something. Sharing is caring, my friends. Maybe you're sharing something in your world. We have the sun in your 7th house, right? And so this can be where you might find some power struggles going on between the things that you want, your goals, your dreams, your desires, but also finding that balance with other people, because your 7th house is your house of relationships, right? This is your friendships, your business relationships. This is your family relationships. Hello there, Scorpio. Welcome to your full moon reading in your sign. So this, of course, is happening in your first astrological house. So you could be really focused at this time on your own goals, your personal dreams, where you want to, what makes you happy in life. And you could be focused on your appearance. You might be finding that you want to start something new at this time, right? So, but this could be where you get some power struggles, right? Because the sun is in your 7th house of relationships, your romantic relationships, your friendships, your business partnerships, right? And so you might need to make some changes to do the things that you want to do. Especially if, it impacts other people. Some of you as well, maybe you want to find a little bit more balance in your life in some way, because, maybe you've been spending a lot of time in your workplace and you're like, no, I want to focus on me. I want to do something different for myself. And so the full moon can kind of amplify this energy and these feelings and these emotions that may come to the surface. Some of you as well could be potentially finding that you're opening your heart to love and romance as well. But you could be making some changes to your personal appearance. The first house is where you take action, initiative, or you try something new, out with the old wardrobe, out with the old hairstyle, out with the old hair color, and in with something a little bit new. Maybe you want to experiment a little bit, or if you're kind of thinking that, you want to get out and socialize a little bit more, then, maybe you're kind of sprucing yourself up a little bit and gearing yourself up for that. But you could find that you want to make some changes with who you connect with, the people that you are partnered up with in your life. And, you might even be looking at making some changes in your business life here as well. Perhaps your career path, maybe find something that is a little bit more fulfilling. We have loyalty coming in here, and how very poignant for you guys, okay? So when we focus on loyalty, right, especially with this connection here with the 7th house, what are you loyal to? Are you putting your loyalty, your commitment in the right places? Right? Or are you being loyal out of a sense of duty, out of a sense of feeling like you're obligated, right? Or are you putting your loyalty towards people or situations that deserve it, right? So loyalty is a wonderful trait, a wonderful character trait. But sometimes we put our loyalty and our faith and our trust in the wrong situations, or sometimes we remain loyal to people or situations that are no longer loyal to us. And let's face it, with a full moon, we sometimes do let go of things, or we sometimes do recognize that something here either has to change, I have to change, or we need to do some work to get things back on track and to get things back on an even keel. Thank you very much. So have a look in the mirror, right? Where are you putting your loyalty? Right? Are they deserving of your loyalty, right? Or is someone taking advantage of you and advantage of the situation? And we've got the deity Mithras coming out here, the deity of action, honor, sacrifice. And in this energy, this is saying, go deep, my friends. Go deep and embrace your inner warrior, your inner soldier, right? Do you need to make some changes? Do you need to stand your ground? Right? Do you need to let go? But where do you need to take some action? So embrace your personal power. Make the changes where you need to make some changes, and have a look at those things that you have been loyal to, and see what's working, what ain't working, what's dropping away, what needs to fall away. But I feel that some of you here, you are going to be very rewarded for your loyalty as well. Emotions run deep, don't they? And if you have shown a lot of loyalty to maybe a company, a friend, a colleague, perhaps, right, this is where something may be rewarded for you. So you might actually get some blessings and benefits around this full moon. It could be like if you've been loyal to your company, to your boss, right, through thick and thin, up and down, you've put in your time. You've put in a lot of effort, right? You might get, maybe some money, or you might get, a raise, or perhaps this is the time when, your resume might look bright and shiny. And so maybe you're looking at making some changes in that regard as well. Your business partnerships, right? So something that you have been loyal to can be rewarding for you at this time. So this can be really quite exciting. We have the Two of Fire coming out here for you, the Ace of Air, and the Queen of Air. The Two of Fire, it's about making plans, about looking at the future, it's about clearing blocks and obstacles and making decisions. First, we need to figure out what we want, where we want to go, what direction we want to take, what path we want to take. We can go this way, we can go that way, and then we step forward, right? So first we reflect and then we take action. The Two of Fire can also show that, some plans that you have put in place, the coast is clear. The road is open to the future. So if you've been feeling if you don't know what you want, or you're feeling like there's something been holding you back, now is the time when you're going to figure those things out. You're going to get the answers that you need. We've got the Ace of Air. You're going to get clarity and epiphany. There might be a very important conversation that you have, either internal or external. It's going to bring in some enlightenment. This is also a big yes card. Okay, so yes, I know what I want. Yes, I know where I want to go, and I'm going to do it, right? So that road, those paths are open to you. Be loyal to yourself. By the way, okay, we sometimes forget to be loyal to our own wants, needs, desires, goals, and dreams. And sometimes we put those on the back burner for other things. So you're being very encouraged to focus on the future. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What do you need to change? And go for it. Take that little bit of leap, right? But that Ace of Air is a big yes card, okay, and it can certainly represent you getting the answers that you need. We do have the Queen of Air, which is a very decisive energy. This is Queen of Swords, Ace of Swords, right? The Queen of Air is a very decisive energy. So you've got clarity, you've got a sense of purpose, you know what you want, you're making important decisions, and you're not doubting yourself either, because you're trusting your internal wisdom, you're trusting your instincts, you're really connected with your intuition right now, you're connected with the wisdom in your soul, and you are looking at the future and you're doing what's right for you, whatever that happens to look like to you, right? This can also be where you recognize what you need to cut out of your life, where you need to find freedom, and where you need to perhaps put up some boundaries. We all know we need to put up boundaries. We all know that that's a healthy thing, right? And sometimes we put up boundaries, but then we kind of like let them slide a little bit, because sometimes we don't want the argument. Sometimes we don't want the headache or the struggle. So sometimes it's just easier to give in, right? But that's where we get taken advantage of and things like that, right? And so, I feel sorry for the person that gets on your bad side and takes advantage of you. But, it happens, right? It really does happen sometimes, and it's just easier sometimes just to give in. But I feel like in this energy, this is very clear, very honest, very straightforward, very to the point. And if you do need to put some boundaries in place or reestablish some healthy boundaries somewhere, this is what you're going to get done. Now, there could also be, by the way, coming into your life either, or playing a key role at this full moon, there could be a person in your life that plays a significant role. So the Queen of Air can be someone new, Ace of Air, someone who you have a clear, honest conversation with. Maybe you clear the air, you can clear your path forward and get things back on track. This can be somebody that maybe gives you some advice. They're very honest. Queen of Air can be a friend, right? And this friend, if they were going to give you some advice or some insights, be prepared for what you're about to hear, because they're very honest, they're very blunt, they're very straightforward, very to the point. You might not like what they have to say, but it's usually something that you need to hear, right? And we all kind of know that person. They just say things like it is, and that's that kind of person there. So this can be someone that you're meeting, someone you can have open, honest communication with. It's going to be someone that's giving you some advice, but they can play certainly a key role. And again, they can be a significant other, or someone that you're clearing the air with, someone who you're talking about something about the future with as well, because don't forget, first house, seventh house, you could actually be getting your hopes and dreams and goals coming to fruition. And so some of you could be talking about the future with a romantic partner, right? Talking about, marriage or family, or perhaps retirement if you're headed in that direction, right? That kind of thing. And this is where you're getting the answers, you're figuring things out, right? And this can be where you might get something very exciting, because those aces can sometimes bring us they're gifts from the universe. They can bring us new beginnings, a fresh start, a different perspective on things. They can also bring us the answers that we need. But yes, they can bring about that big thing that we wanted, that we manifested into our lives. So we're going to get a couple of blessings out here for you guys for this full moon. And there is your first one. And we have a namaste blessing for you. The divine in me acknowledges the divine in you. I bow to you and honor your inner light of pure and unconditional love. Eternal peace be with you. Eternal love be with you. Eternal joy be with you through this serendipitous blessing. I love that one. Okay, a little bit of peace, a little bit of calm. There's your next blessing. The blessed treasure within. The qualities you admire in others, you also possess. Seventh house, first house. There is a treasure within you. This card is here to help you reconnect with the well of wisdom, creativity, and beauty inside you. It is time to shine your light. I love that. Really love that for you guys. Great message. I'm going to leave all that there. I hope there was something here for you. Good luck on. Hello there, Sagittarius, and welcome to your full moon in Scorpio reading. Oh, you might be feeling a little bit quiet at this time. This is happening in your 12th house. You might be feeling a little bit reflective. This is a great time for you to clear out old chapters, old cycles in your life. Your 12th house has to do with your subconscious, so something hidden may come to light. This is where you feel like you want to escape from the world. This is a closure of karmic cycles as well for you. So this can be some really big energy coming in, really important, like not big as in like explosive, but big as in like it's a big deal, right? So you might be ready to really start a fresh chapter. You've done a lot of work, you've done a lot of healing, you've done a lot of changes, and now it's like, I'm ready to let these things go. So this can be really wonderful for you. The 12th house also has to do with your dreams. Pay attention to your dreams at this time, because you could be having some very interesting ones, I would say. But this does have to do with things that have been hidden, so you might get some secrets at this time. You might be revealing something to the world as well. Maybe you've been doing something behind the scenes that you haven't been telling anyone about. But with the 12th house, it is very private, it is very quiet energy, and it is a great time for some meditation practices, for some cleansing rituals, those kind of things. These can really, really be of a lot of benefit to your energy right now. We have the sun in your 6th house. Your 6th house is ruled by Mercury. It's Virgo energy, your health, happiness, and well-being. So you could be really having a look at how you can make some improvements in your world in those areas, right? So your physical health, your spiritual health, your emotional health, right? All of these things, you might be with the 12th house looking to put an end to something that you do so that you can do something better, or so you can better your situation. So let's say you really like sugar, maybe you're going to cut out sweets. something very seemingly simple as that, but sugar is a major addiction. So cutting out sugar is not always easy. So just be a little bit aware of that. But this is where you can have this very big boost to make those improvements in your life. You could also have something that is changing or something that you want to change with your daily routines. This can also be where you see the progress that you've made. Right? You're about to level up in some way. So if you've been, say, on an exercise regime, or you've been on a healthy eating regime and things like this, you've been making all these changes, and this can be where you kind of see there's some results. It could be that maybe, over the last few months, you're like, you know what, I'm going to eat better. I'm going to get a little bit more exercise. It doesn't have to be anything drastic. And maybe you have made a pact with yourself previously that I'm not going to step on the scale. It's not about the pounds. It's about how I feel. Right? Which can be really great, right? Because sometimes stepping on the scale all the time can actually be more of a hindrance than a help. And this could be the time when you finally think, okay, I've been at this for a few months now. I'm going to step on the scale. I'm going to see where I'm at. And your mind could be unbelievably blown. You could be like, wow, I knew I made some progress, but I didn't know I made this much progress, right? So whatever you're doing in your day-to-day life, whether you're changing, whether you're making some progress, you're leveling up, right? You're about to take the next step, amp up something. Here, you're probably going to see the results, or you're going to see the future and how you want it to be. Some of you could have something going on with some pets as well. So your daily routines might be changing a little bit here. So you might be getting a new pet. Unfortunately, because it is Scorpio energy, ruled by the death card, we've got beginnings. We've also got endings. You got a 12th house energy for endings. You also have your pets on there. So you could be healing from a past pet, right? And now you could be opening your heart to potentially thinking about getting a new one, right? I mean, we all know that our pets aren't going to be here as long as we are, but it doesn't take the sting away, right, when they leave our lives. So if you've previously had a pet that's left your life, maybe you're opening yourself up to getting one. This is a good time to get any kind of medical checkup for yourself or for your pet. Okay, just to make sure that you're all on track. We have Lemur energy coming out here for you guys with loneliness. Now, here's the interesting thing with this particular card. Number one, I actually had to redo these readings twice. Once because I had technology issues, and once because even though my kittens, my 6-month-old kittens, have been quiet all morning, as soon as I started doing the moon readings, they decided to get the zoomies and play with a couple of really noisy toys all over the house. So but the interesting part is that when I did the first 2 readings, is this particular card came out both times. And now here it is the 3rd time. So that's a huge sign from the universe, okay? Now this is an energy of loneliness. So what does that mean? Well, it can represent that if you've been feeling disconnected somewhere in your life, this can be where you are breaking out of that pattern, breaking out of that cycle, and you're about to step out of a comfort zone a little bit. You want to get out there and meet new people. You're opening your heart to let love in, to let connection in, to let people in, to let something in to enhance your life in a wonderful way. Being alone and being lonely are 2 very different things, right? So if you have been feeling lonely, it's time to get out there. It's time to go out and have some fun. It's time to make some changes in your day-to-day routine to free up some time so that you can get out and enjoy life and connect with people. And it may be that you've been on a healing journey. Okay, or maybe the spark of loneliness in you is illuminating you at this full moon, that there's something within that is making you feel lonely. What is that, right? Is it, some grief or some pain from something that has been lost out of your life? It's a great opportunity and a great time for you here to do that emotional deep dive with the full moon in Scorpio, right? Lots of emotions, lots of intensity to see what that is. Because when we see things, when we recognize things, and when we're willing to work through things, we get our power back, we get our mojo back, and we invite healing energy, right? Because we don't want to carry this thing. We don't want to carry this thing around. It's like a cloak, right? That's blocking us from the world. This can also show in this energy that perhaps you have been spending too much time external outside of yourself and not enough time going within. And sometimes we can surround ourselves with people and things like that, but there's still something a little bit missing. Because when we do feel that there's something missing, something we're disconnected from, we tend to fill the void with things that make us feel good, but things that aren't necessarily healthy, right? And this is where things like addictions come in. So things like, if we drown our sorrows in, a case of beer, right? Or a bottle of wine, right? Or, we feel sad, we're lonely, we cry, and what do? We eat the whole cake, and then we feel bad because we ate the whole cake, and then we go back for more cake, right? So those kind of things, and they can keep us kind of in this little pattern. So this full moon can be really quite intense for some of you in this energy, to see where you are filling a void, right? What work do you need to do? Where do you need to get outside of your comfort zone, outside your shell? Where do you need to open up a little bit and let some love and light and wonderful things back in? You could also be finding yourself in the very unusual circumstance of trying to convince people that you might be alone, but you're not lonely. Perhaps you're comfortable in your own skin. You don't necessarily need to surround yourself with a whole bunch of people. And especially in the 12th house energy, it's like, no, I want to be alone. And then people all of a sudden think that, oh, you're by yourself, you must be lonely. Well, no. If you are connected with your inner self, you're connected with your energy, with your light, even if you're by yourself, you don't have to be lonely. Single people find this all the time, right? I get this all the time. I've been single for a few years, right? And I'm perfectly fine with it. I love my independence and I love my freedom, right? And, yes, some days it was like, okay, yes, it would be nice with, a partner, with a companion. But then other days I'm like, I really don't even care, right? What happens? Que sera, sera, right? Whatever will be, will be. But just because I live alone or whatever, doesn't mean I'm ever lonely, because I'm not. Right? I'm probably happier than some people that are coupled up, right? Because you can be with a person, with a partner, and still be lonely, right? So you might find yourself, changing things around or really letting go some sense of loneliness. But there is a little bit of a power in finding quiet time to be alone. It's where we find answers. This is where we connect with ourselves. We figure out what we want. And it's where we sometimes find peace. We don't have to live our lives externally necessarily to lead a healthy, happy, joyous, soulful life, do we? Very interesting card. Very interesting card, this one. We have the 7 of water, the 5 of air, and we have the messenger of water all coming out there for you guys. I love it. The back of the deck, we've got the Fool. The Fool is Uranus energy. The Fool is conjunct with Jupiter a couple of days before this full moon. And the Fool is about getting out there, trying something new, breaking a cycle, taking the next step, taking a leap of faith, leaving your hopes or leaving your fears, behind you, and embracing your hopes. So the Fool represents fun and excitement, meeting new people, trying new things, taking something to the next level, but it's ultimately about putting yourself out there and embracing your hope and your excitement for a better tomorrow, for a better future. So the Fool is a great energy coming in there. But we do have the 7 of water here for you, and the 7 of water shows you might have a lot of options or opportunities or possibilities right now. You might be trying to make an important decision on something. So you could have some things coming to fruition for you in alignment with your things that you're dreaming about, things that you're imagining. The 7 of water can be a very unique kind of energy as well. And with the 5 of air right beside it, which can be conflict, right? Or it can be confusion or doubts, right? Here we go. We're kind of letting our fears and our confusions and our issues dissipate with this full moon. And instead, we're looking at what we're dreaming about. We're looking at our dreams and we're thinking, how can I make these things happen? What am I dreaming about at this time? What do I want to choose? Where do I want to go? What do I want to start? What do I want to finish? Right? And this is where you're letting go of anything that's been holding you back. Because the Seven of Water can bring about, yes, a lot of opportunities, but it can bring about a sense of being overwhelmed. It can be a sense of confusion or doubt, or it can be like a little procrastination because we don't start something because we're afraid, right? Or we're uncertain, or we don't feel confident in something, right? So in this energy, this is what we're working through, this is what we're letting go. We're making some changes, and instead of being held back by confusion and doubt and fear and, lack of confidence and all these things, instead we are letting those things go. We're letting those things dissipate, and instead we're following our heart, the messenger of water. We're following our hopes and our dreams and our goals. We're opening our heart to love and to romance, and we're opening our heart to things that are better. We're connecting with our emotions in a healthy way. We're connecting with our intuition in a healthy way. And this is where we're getting very much in the flow of the universe. We're getting in the flow of our own energy. Some of you with this messenger of water, you could be getting some really good news. At this time, there could be some opportunities, some invitations. Maybe they're social invitations. Maybe, if you're like trying to make some improvements in your life, this can be where instead of going at something alone, you might find yourself with a support system. So maybe a friend says, hey, you know what? I need some motivation to keep going to the gym every day. How about you want to go together? And maybe this is a great time for you to do that. Right? Because, maybe someone to hold each other accountable, right? That kind of thing. The messenger of water can be, where you are opening yourself up to meeting new people or, finding that companion, right? That kind of thing. But it's a very loving energy that's coming in here. It's also filled with one of creativity, of moving forward, of making progress and taking steps. So this can be a wonderful energy that is coming in there for you. But yes, you could be getting a surprise somewhere around this full moon as well. So be in the flow. Don't resist change. Look at an opportunity and be ready to say yes. Okay. Or sometimes an opportunity that comes in, even if it doesn't feel like it's the right thing for us, it can get the wheels going and it can like kind of get us motivated to do something that we want or make some changes. So some very interesting energy coming in here for you guys, I've got to say. So I don't know. I don't really want to say expect the unexpected, even though you could be getting a surprise, right? And quite often if something comes out of the woodwork, right, it's quite often something surprising. But I don't know. It's like a little bit of mystery and magic coming in here, and a la the 12th house, right? That can certainly be some mystery and some magic, but you could have a massive energy shift at this time. So do some meditation, do some work with crystals, do some moon magic, whatever it is that floats your boat. And this is really going to help you and bring you, I think, some enlightenment. So anything kind of goes with this, right? Really interesting. Anyway, here is one of your blessings coming this way. And that's actually meditation, isn't it? And we have the blessing of meditation. Hey, there we go. Your window of perception is cleansed, and for a moment you see life as it truly is, infinite and eternal. Meditation will help you rise above any situation and event and see things clearly. What usually seems chaotic and disorderly can seem the opposite. Know there is a divine order to your life. Wow, that kind of sums up, like it sums up these, your tarot cards right here. So very interesting. There is your next card. A blessing from the light. Beautiful. You are dearly loved, more than you can possibly imagine, and you are never alone. Wow, okay. A universe of love and light surrounds you and showers you with blessings that ebb and flow in your heart. It's that heart-opening energy, a blessing from the light. Beautiful, beautiful energy. Wow. The meditation one sums up these, and the blessing from the light sums up that one. Anyway, so a little bit of mystic and magic in your reading today here, Saggy. So embrace that. So I'm going to leave that there on that note. Okay, I hope there was something here that sparked something in you, right? It might just be a little bit But good luck in this full moon. I thank you for watching. We're going to move on now to Capricorn. Hello there, Capricorn, and welcome to your full moon and Scorpio reading. Now, this is happening in your 11th house. Now, this is ruled by Uranus. Okay. Like I said before, we do have a conjunction with Jupiter and Uranus just a few days before this full moon. And this is also Aquarian energy, which of course we do have a square with Pluto in Aquarius with the sun and the moon. So very interesting. There could be some wonderful blessings headed your way. There could be some very interesting opportunities that are opening up for you. And these are in alignment with your wishes and your goals, because your 11th house has to do with your wishes, your liberty, your freedoms. Okay. Your future also has to do with your social groups, with your networks, and also about community. So in this energy, there could possibly be some doors opening for you to bring you some more money, or perhaps if you've been hoping for something in your neighborhood, then this can be something that goes on out there. If you've been trying to maybe give back in some way, maybe you're going to figure out how to give back to your community in some way, but you could be experiencing some changes in your social groups. You could find a group of people that you connect with at this time. But you could also be freeing yourself from toxic connections as well. Sometimes, especially with social networks, sometimes we connect with like social media, social groups, or people, things like that. And, things are good at the time, right? We feel like, okay, yeah, we're all on the same page. And then things kind of go a little bit loopy. Things go a little bit topsy-turvy in their energy, and now you're like, ugh, I got to break away from this. This is really just not healthy anymore. And I've been a member of some of those groups before as well online, right? It's like people start out supportive and positive, but then you get the keyboard warriors, or you get the naysayers on there, right? And everyone's all full of pomp and circumstance behind a keyboard, right? And sometimes you're like, okay, I this is just full of negativity. I can't be a member of this anymore. So you could be freeing yourself, liberating yourself from those kind of things, right? It's like, I don't want this in my life anymore. It's just not working. But some of you could have something coming to fruition for you that's going to be kind of fun. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be something that maybe sets you up for some future success, or something that you've manifested in. The 11th house tends to be quite sparkly in its energy. So it's going to be something sudden, something unexpected, and something that maybe you do need to take a little bit of leap of faith. You need to trust what is being presented to you, and you need to jump in with both feet and give something a try. This is also connected with your 5th house of fun and romance and pleasure and joy and hobbies and interests, your creativity and things like that. So you could just be finding opportunities to create the life that you want. You could be looking in the mirror and saying, how can I have more fun and joy and excitement in my life? What makes me happy? What doesn't make me happy? So part of your focus here could be to take back your power to do the things that make you happy, or to release the things that are not making you happier and that are actually just bringing negativity into your life, right? You're like, nope, I want to surround myself with positive stuff, and this is what I need to do to get that. But you could be having a little bit of fun at this full moon. You could have something very exciting coming in for you. We have rest coming in here, okay? So sometimes when we're thinking about our wishes and our goals and our dreams, or we're thinking about what is my path to pleasure and joy and happiness, and or what do I want to create in my life, what do I want to try, sometimes we need to take a little bit of a step back. When we focus on rest, right, we find a quiet space, we find a quiet time, we take a night off. We try and take a day off of work or something if we can. We take a vacation, right? So this is really saying that you may have a lot going on in your world, and not just at this full moon will be an important time, but now is a good time for you to plan a little bit of R&R for yourself, right? You might have some goals, some things that you want to achieve, or you have been working hard to achieve something, and now here you are, you're wrapping things up, you're getting things done. Full moons are about completions, right? And now the universe is saying to you, you need a break. You need to take a step back. You need to take some time out for yourself. You need to have fun, 5th house energy. You need to have fun. And the thing is that when we have your 11th house, right, is where your moon is, right? Your full moon is, and then we've got your opposition to your 5th house, right? It's like, what is getting in the way of you having fun? And if you've been really goal oriented and have some things that you've been working on, you may have been overdoing it a little bit. So now it's like, okay, we need to find the balance between following your wishes, your goals, your dreams, and to have a little bit more fun and joy and excitement in your life and take a load off, right? So you might need to make some decisions there. You might need to put up some boundaries. You might need to make some changes to find a little bit of a healthier balance so you can get a little bit more R&R in your life, right? Easier said than done, right? We can let things go. We can, put up boundaries. We can establish some ground rules, that kind of thing, and usually internally within ourselves, right? But it's easier said than done to kind of carry those things out. But whatever your situation is, you might be feeling quite tired around this full moon or just in life in general at this point. And the best thing that you can do is nothing at all. Okay. Sitting and doing nothing or reading a book or just enjoying nature and not really doing anything is a form of rest, and it is necessary. We got to recharge our batteries at some point. And the deity on this particular card is Hypnos, okay, Greek god of sleep. Okay, so find some more time to get some more sleep, get some more rest. You will thank yourself for making that effort. We have the 5 of Earth, Justice, and the Page of Earth. Okay, so yeah, there may have been some things going on, or there might be something going on that hasn't gone your way, or you may feel as though some injustice has been dealt somewhere along the way. The 5 of Earth shows that there's been some lack or some loss or something just not quite where you want it to be, whether it's with yourself, whether it's with your energy, whether it's with your money, your relationships, whatever it happens to be. But now we've got some really great energy coming in to turn some things around. So this full moon can be a really important time where things are starting to come to fruition for you, doors are opening for you, or you're seeing the results, Page of Earth, of everything that you've been working to fix, 5 of Earth, right? So, and this is where, because you've been clear, because you've made some very important decisions and you've put in the effort, right? Your effort is being rewarded. So some of you with the Page of Earth energy, you could be getting some money. You could be finding some resources. If there's been any kind of legal situations going on, this is probably where you're going to get some good news, or you're going to get some resolution, or it's at the very least on the horizon for you here, right? So it can be something very exciting. This can also be where you are discovering some information, and this information is helping you to make a very important decision. 5 of Earth, losing something, letting something go. Page of Earth, to find something better, and we're seeing the truth with the Justice card, right? So this can be, again, like those social groups, right? You're connected to, I don't know, let's say some gardening group or something, right? And Earth energy, why not? Some gardening group there, and maybe these people were a bunch of little old biddies or something like that, or a bunch of kind of very creative people initially, but then of course something went sideways, and it's like, I gotta cut myself loose out of this, right? Justice card can help you cut yourself loose from something that's not working for you anymore, but you're finding a new group. You're finding something that's a little bit more in alignment with you, right? And sometimes it's because our energy has changed, we've changed, our circumstances has changed, and we're just not aligned with certain groups anymore. And so you're finding something better. This can also be where you don't know something, 5 of Earth, okay? Something you don't know, you seek out some information or some guidance, and you find it with the Page of Earth, and then you learn something, because the Page of Earth brings in knowledge, brings in information. But this can be where you are focusing on something that you want to create, right? So you could be wanting to connect with the Earth at this time, very Taurus in its energy, right? You could be very Capricorn in this energy too, right? Maybe you want to connect with the earth, get outside, connect with nature, go have some fun. The pages, right? It's fun, right? Fun energy, youthful vibe, right? It's also inexperience, right? So, this can be where if you want to learn something, the doors of knowledge are open to you. This can also be where, you might want to pick up like a hobby or something. Maybe you want to do some gardening, learn about plants, or maybe you want to build something, work with your hands, right? That kind of thing. And with the page of earth shows, you know what, I've got this new opportunity to do this thing that I want to do. I don't know how to do it yet, but I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to try. So it's like an open mind kind of energy, but we are stepping away from this 5 of earth. We're making some changes and we're making some very important decisions, right? Whether we need to let something go or whether we're moving forward, and we are seeing the improvements that we've been making. But the Justice card brings in Libra energy for you. And this is about balance and harmony. This is also about those scales of justice. The Justice card can bring in some really good karma, because it can be where we see the truth or some truth comes to light and we make some very important decisions, but we make sure that we have all of the information that we need before we make a decision. That way we know we're making the right one. Interesting that the Justice card in this deck is card number 11, and this full moon is hitting your 11th house. So 1111. Very interesting, right? 1111 can be your wishes, your hopes, your dreams, your goals, right? Your vision for your future. So whether you're starting something new or whether something is coming in here for you, it can be a very exciting time. So let's get a couple more cards out here for you guys. Messages, please, for Capricorn. You could also potentially be partnering up with someone new or meeting someone new, right? This can be someone who maybe you join forces with to learn something. So if you're, maybe you want to learn how to do something and you grab a friend, or, you join a group of like-minded people for something. And, maybe it's like you want to take a class or something like that, and you might meet new people and you kind of connect with these people in a positive way. So this can be really good for you as well. So there is your first blessing. The blessed treasure within. The qualities you admire in others you also possess. There is a treasure within you. This card is here to help you reconnect with the well of wisdom, creativity, and beauty inside you. It's time to shine your light. Love that message. And there is your next blessing. We'll go sideways for this one. A blessing from your soul. You are a radiant being with many unique talents. Look with eyes of love and you will see this. Feel the creative power within you and the blessings pouring in as the healing light of your soul flows into every part of you. I'll leave that there for you, Capricorn. I hope there was something here for you. Good luck in this full moon. We'll move on now to Aquarius. Hello there, Aquarius, and welcome to your full moon in Scorpio reading. Now, this can be really quite interesting, quite wonderful for you guys. This is occurring in your 10th astrological house. So this is all about your public image, your reputation, your business accomplishments, your career status. So at this time, you could be getting some recognition in your workplace. You could also be recognizing what career path that you want to follow, and this can potentially be a good time for you to make some career moves. You might be getting, you might be getting some sort of reward at this time, or you have the opportunity and the ability to make more money. Some of you could be really considering your future and really thinking about, is my career path fulfilling for me at this time? Am I just in it for the money? Is that the only benefit that I get out of it right now? So you could be opening the doors for yourself to make some really big moves and bold changes in your career path, to find something that's maybe going to be a little bit more pleasurable for you, or maybe something where you get a little bit better of a work-home balance, right? Because the sun is in your 4th house, of course, opposing the moon, and your 4th house is about your foundation, about your sacred space, about your home, about your family. And so there could be a little bit of something that's a little bit off kilter here that you need to change, that you need to correct, or that you might want to focus on, right, in this energy, the balance between work and home. If you work a lot of overtime, maybe you don't get a lot of benefit for it, right? Then you could be considering maybe opening your own business, a home-based business perhaps. This can be a good time for you to consider that. And this can be where if you have a home-based business, you might want to expand that there as well, right? You gained a reputation. You're getting a little bit of traction. You're getting good reviews, right? And so you can use this to your advantage to make make a home-based business into something a little bit bigger. But I do find that there is quite often a delicate balance between your work life and your home life. So you could be wanting to find a little bit more balance and harmony in there, right? We all talk about a work-home life balance, but sometimes it's easier said than done. But you could have some bright and shiny opportunities opening up for you here, and some of you could be getting some really good news at this time. Maybe you get a raise, and that raise allows you to move to a better home location, right? Move to a bigger house or a better neighborhood or that kind of thing, or maybe even to buy your own home, all of that, right? But you could also be resolving some issues with family, with a parent, right? Your 10th house is about your dominant parent. Your 4th house can represent your nurturing parent, so mother-father dynamic kind of thing, whether it's actually your mother or father or not. So you could be, you could be finding that, you're maybe resolving some issues with them, or there could be some things going on that actually don't affect you, but maybe have to do with your parents. Maybe they're looking to retire. Maybe they sell you their house, or you have an opportunity to buy their house, right? That kind of thing. You might be able to benefit in some way. But you could also have like some breakups and shakeups in here as well. And you might just be like the observer of these things. But I do feel that, part of, your work, your career, your ambitions may get in the way of spending time at home and with your family. So you might need to navigate that. So let's see what else we get here. And we've got the journey, and we've got Persephone here. We've got some door opening there for you. So this can be a time of transition for you. This can also be a time for you when we get the journey to follow your goals and dreams, to follow your path. There's doors opening for you. The path forward is clear. Okay. And there's some really positive changes that may be coming about here for you. You may also be feeling a little bit of a power struggle. Now, there is some very interesting mythology, okay, behind Persephone, and it is actually very linked to this full moon, okay, because Persephone was kidnapped by Hades. Hades is also known as Pluto, okay, and there's a power struggle in there, which can come about here because Pluto is in your sign, right, and Pluto is squaring off with the sun and the moon. So bear with me for a second because I'm just going to pull out the book and read this entire description to you. And I don't usually have to do this in readings. I don't have to do it now, but I'm going to read this for you because I think this is very important, and it's very, very linked and very, very interesting synchronicity there. Okay. The journey, Persephone. To rise to get where you wish to go is a process and journey. While catalyst to change can appear overnight, transformation rarely does. Be patient. There is a reason for everything. Work with the cycles, the seasons, the moon, the sun. There is a time for introversion, extroversion, growth, and stillness. Duality, to stay and to go, remain or transform. The tale of Persephone is one of the most well-known ancient myths of Western civilization. Persephone's kidnapping by Hades and her descent to the underworld, and the consequences of her mother Demeter's grief is an iconic story of change and growth. After falling in love with Persephone from afar, Hades goes to his brother Zeus, the leader of all gods, for permission to marry her. Zeus says yes and agrees that he will speak to Persephone's mother Demeter, goddess of agriculture, Taurus, and the seasons, and the girl herself. Zeus forgets, time passes. Hades gets impatient and Zeus is hard to find, so he seizes Persephone while she is simply picnicking with friends and takes her down to the underworld. Demeter searches for her missing daughter, across the earth and cannot find her. In her grief, she stops helping the plants to grow. The weather becomes poor and all agriculture dries up. The race of the humans then suffers and great famine, and many are dying. Meanwhile, Persephone is frightened by the audacity of the kidnap and the underworld itself, and yet she is treated with respect. Hades wishes to marry her and thus offers her a queendom, and with that she will become the co-ruler of the realm of the underworld and the dead. She will become powerful and a wife, and she is not dead and still has worldly needs, and she is offered food. A juicy pomegranate with red ruby seeds is given to her, but what she doesn't realize is that if she takes the food while in the underworld, she will be part of that world and have to stay. Up above on the earthly plane, men cry out for help to Zeus, and he hears. He asks Demeter to give the earth its fertility again, but she refuses until Persephone can be found. By this time, some other gods know who took her, so Zeus goes to Hades to negotiate. Demeter demands her daughter's return outright, but there is an issue now. Persephone has taken the food. She has eaten 6 pomegranate seeds, so must stay with Hades. Zeus brokers a deal so that for 6 months Persephone will stay with Hades and be his queen. The other 6 months, after journeying up from the underworld, she is spent with her mother on the earth's surface. She is escorted up through the darkness by her friend Hecate, the torchbearer who illuminates the way. This is clearly a complex story with many themes, but one is that the story of cycles and transformation, life stages, and the struggles of triumph and that journey. For example, in ancient Greece, when a young woman was married, she left childish things behind, left home, and joined the family of her husband. Her birth family were both sad and happy at this, and there was often a period of adjustment for the bride. Although losing her identity and freedom as a maiden, the bride is made queen of her new home and has responsibility for her realm. With the birth of her children, the cycle repeats. The overarching idea here, too, is about the journey and the change of the seasons. We see how winter is death and rest, spring is renewal and growth, and summer brings all to peak fruition, then transforms again into the contraction of autumn. Change and transition are everywhere and constant. We see natural cycles as equally important. There are times to feel introverted and extroverted, energetic and restful, happy and sad. None are better than the other. Very interesting energy. The plant companion is pomegranate, but the crystal companion is garnet. And for some of you, your birthstone may be a garnet. So interesting energy of power struggles, of push and pull, of your someone's dreams or things that you want to see come to fruition, but also nurturing your home and your happiness and all that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit of a longer description there than I had intended. But there may be something in there for you to correlate with some of this energy. Anyway, let's keep going. We have the 5 of water coming in here, so something here that you're processing. We have the Ace of Water. I'm going to turn it the other way because there are no reversals in this particular deck. So we've got the Ace of Water, out with the old, in with the new, and we've got the 3 of Fire. So with the 5 of Water, this can be some emotions that you're processing. This can be something that you're assessing. Is something working for me? Is something not working for me? Can I change my current situation and make it better? Can we revive something? Can we find a compromise? Can we find that halfway point? Or do I need to let something go and look for something new? Whatever your situation happens to be, whatever it is that you are processing and dealing with the Ace of Water brings in something new and sparkly, brings in a new beginning, brings in the answers that you're looking for, can bring in health, happiness, and healing, can bring in a sense of peace. It can also bring a lot of love, a lot of positive emotion, a lot of positive outlook, and something exciting for your future. With the 3 of Fire, this can be an opportunity that you've been waiting for to follow your path, to follow your goal, to follow your dream. But yes, sometimes the 5 of Water, we need to make some important changes, or we need to figure out what we truly desire and then move forward in that direction. And sometimes that direction, that path forward, is leaving something behind. Sometimes we do need to find a middle ground, a common ground. Sometimes we need to be open and honest and true with ourselves and expressing our feelings, our desires, our emotions. But ultimately, we need to make a choice whether to seize an opportunity, seize a moment, what to move forward with, and what to leave behind. The Three of Water shows progress no matter what our situation is. So with that Ace of Water, this can be a fresh start, a new beginning. This can be improvements in your life. This can be some healing energy. And this can also be something manifesting that you have wanted, that you've wished for, that you've been waiting for. Hence the Three of Fire, which can represent an open door and opportunities there for you, along with the journey of Persephone. What journey will you take? What path will you follow? Because there are things opening up for you. Be willing to go deep, to figure out what you want, to do that emotional deep dive, right? Connect with your heart and your soul and see where your future lies. I feel here that you've got the gift of insight. You've got the gift of intuition. All these senses are heightened for you at this time. And if you want to change something, this is that key that is unlocking that door. So do you stay or do you go? Do you make a transformation, or are you happy where you are? For sometimes we can just take a level up, right? But every time we level up in something, we need to sort some things out before we can find that freedom that we need to take that next step, to take that next level and leave some baggage behind or resolve issues before we move forward. So it could be something very exciting that's going on here for you guys. So here is your first blessing. Got a couple blessing cards for you guys. That is the sun poking through the trees, but I always call this the sunny side up egg card. We have now is the blessing. Life is a timeless moment in the eternal now. You perceive a yesterday, today, and tomorrow, but in reality, there is only now. Focusing on the past or future keeps you from fully living and receiving life's blessings. Bring your awareness within and you receive a timeless blessing. And there is your next blessing. A blessing in a relationship. A current relationship is reflecting something that is wounded inside you, a wound from long ago, perhaps even from a past life. Look within, find the part of you that is wounded, and send it love. All will heal, and you will be stronger and wiser for it. Lovely. I'm going to leave all that there for you guys. A little long-winded for you, but I don't know, maybe a little bit interesting for some of you. But I thank you guys for watching. Good luck in this full moon, and we will move on now to Pisces. Hello there, Pisces. This full moon will be occurring in your 9th astrological house. So you could be really experiencing a change in your outlook on life, on your philosophy of life. The 9th house is ruled by Jupiter. It brings in some Sagittarian energy. You might be freeing yourself from old belief systems. There you could be finding that the old ways are just not working for you anymore, right? You're part of the big shift, right? So things are looking a little bit different for you than they were before. And sometimes that can, really get you thinking about things on a deeper level. The 9th house is about your higher mind, spirituality, religion, your philosophy on life, your morals, right? But also your big ideas. So this can really be an expansive energy coming in here for you, which can be really enlightening on some level, but you could really be figuring out where you're stuck. With the 3rd house energy also activating for you here, there could be a little bit of back and forth energy, or you could find yourself at odds with people in your world, right? Some resistance. Perhaps, you're thinking about things a little bit differently and you're getting into some philosophical conversations with people and you're just not seeing eye to eye. So just be a little bit cautious of that, because your 3rd house is ruled by Mercury, and of course Mercury is in retrograde, so sometimes we do have a little bit more, why don't we call it, opportunity for misunderstandings. But you can also be really getting into some very deep, meaningful conversations with people. But you could be revisiting your outlook on life. You could be wanting to learn something new as well. The ninth house, your higher mind. This also has to do with travel. So you could be getting out there, meeting new people. You could possibly be connecting with somebody who is from a foreign land somewhere. Maybe someone that has recently moved to the country, maybe someone that's visiting, because your third house here also has to do with your communication, your thoughts, right? So big thinking energy for you guys. Also has to do with your community, your social life, and your neighborhoods where you live and who you connect with. So you could be, you could have some sort of event where you bump into some stranger from somewhere, or perhaps you're thinking about traveling somewhere as well. Some of you are really looking to make some big changes in your life, and perhaps you decide that, you know what, I'm at a now or never moment. I'm gonna do something in my life that I'll never have the opportunity again. And perhaps some of you are packing a bag, you're selling your possessions, you're making some plans to go to some sort of adventure, probably overseas or another country, and maybe backpack around or just try living abroad for 6 months or a year and learn about different cultures and different ways of life, right? It's just this big, expansive energy here for you. So prepare to have your mind opened and mind blown on some level here. But I also do feel that you're learning, right? You're opening your mind to different belief systems and different information, and you might have an opportunity here to learn a lot. We have blessings coming in here for you guys. Love this for you. Count your blessings. All right. Always count your blessings. When we give thanks and gratitude and we count the blessings that we have, we get more to be thankful for. But also this card, because this particular deck here is about going deep, going into the shadows, right? And it's Scorpio energy going into the shadows. This is about recognizing, there's this higher mind energy. This is about recognizing the blessings that have come out of difficulty, blessings that have come out of loss, of grief, of sadness, and pain. And when we realize the blessing that we've brought in because of those challenging negative things that have happened in our lives, that is a big turning point on your path to healing, for freedom, for letting go. So it can be a very beautiful thing. A little bit of work, right? Always a little bit of work, diving deep beneath the surface, right? As Pluto helps us do. But this can really be an enlightening moment for you. And with this full moon happening in your ninth house, enlightenment, growth, wisdom. So count all of your blessings and recognize that when the universe helps us close a door, because a door always closes with the help of the universe, right? When we close a door, it gives us an opportunity for a new one and a better one to open. Some of you may also be receiving blessings, by the way. Let's not forget that, okay? You might have something very wonderful coming to fruition, okay, with this energy. So whatever your situation is, count all of your blessings, both new and old. We have the Six of Fire coming in here for you guys. We love the Six of Fire, the messenger of earth. There's some blessing coming your way, and we've got the Six of Water. So the Six of Fire is the Six of Wands energy, overcoming challenges and struggles and obstacles, and we are moving forward. We are taking the steps forward. We're feeling more confident. We're feeling successful. So whatever your situation is, you are successfully completing a cycle or journey of some kind here, whether it's a journey of the mind, a journey of your beliefs, your thoughts, whatever it happens to be. Celebrate your successes and again, count your blessings, right? The Six of Fire is a great energy. With the Six of Fire energy also coming in here with the messenger of earth, the Six of Water, this can be something that is happening for you right here, right now. You could have some travel possibilities here. The Six of Fire can be one of travel. It's also just one of moving forward. But the messenger of earth, there's some sort of news, of message, or something coming to you with this energy. Now, the messenger of earth could be something to do with your money, finances, your career, could be something to do with your knowledge, right? The messenger of earth is very open to learning new things and gaining wisdom, insight, and kind of opening and expanding the mind a little bit there. So some of you could have some really good things coming in for you in your material world, but it can also be the world of your mind, right? So this can be really good energy coming in here. This can also be you going on a quest. Going on a quest, the Six of Water, the time is here, the time is now. I'm going to do this today. I'm never going to have this opportunity again. So some of you here, there's something opening up for you where you might be really feeling a sense of, I've got to do this now. And whether it's going back to school for something, or whether it's going on some sort of trek or adventure or something, maybe even if it's just moving to a different city or neighborhood, right? There's something here for some of you where it's in the present moment. There is a little bit of magic. There's something that is kind of flipping the light switch here. It's like, boom, I'm here. I'm going to do this today. Because the Six of Water does represent the present moment, the present time. No time like the present to get started on something, to get moving and shaking. So this can be you very focused on the here and now with the Six of Water. This can also be something coming to fruition for you in the here and the now. Now, the Six of Water also does carry an element of nostalgia, of reflection on the past, and possibly something coming back to you in your life, a second chance, maybe bumping into somebody that you used to know, and it can possibly open up either the door to healing or it can open up the door to opportunity, whatever your situation happens to be. But whatever it is, you're moving forward into the future, but you're taking some sort of action. You're doing something now. So this can be super duper exciting for you guys. All right. So keep that open mind. Be willing to see things from a different perspective, and get out there and try something new. Get out of your comfort zone, meet new people, learn new things, right? And you just never know how things may play out for you, but it looks like it's pretty good. Things do tend to be quite positive for the most part when we have Jupiter. Jupiter, of course, expands things. Jupiter can bring us some wonderfully good things, but Jupiter can also sometimes stir the pot a little bit, right? Because expanding anything that it touches, but I feel like hearing your energy, we're all pretty good. So we've got a couple blessings for you guys. Here's your first one. And we have the blessing of positive thought. Beautiful. Each time you notice a negative thought cross your mind, stop and consciously replace it with a positive one. Practice this until the pattern is broken. You will set yourself free. This is a blessing to give yourself. It will lead you to a feeling of deep peace and contentment. Look at that. Beautiful energy. The Six of Water, by the way, I forgot to say, Six of Water is a very sweet energy. It can be a very gentle energy, and it can also bring you a gift or something. The traditional imagery on the Six of Water, the Six of Cups, is to children, right? Tapping into your inner child, or embracing something new, or playing with your children. It's where someone brings, the boy brings the girl like a bouquet of flowers, right? Just a little sweet gesture. So somebody may be giving you a sweet gesture around this full moon. There is your next card. A blessing of acceptance. Every part of you is equally worthy of love. Accept yourself as you are, and this will be a blessing unto yourself and others. If you wish to see the truth of the matter, hold no preference, either for or against a particular outcome. Just be the love that you truly are. Wonderful reminder. Those are your messages there, Pisces. Good luck in this full moon. I hope you have a good one. We're going to move on now to Aries. Hello there, Aries. Welcome to your full moon in Scorpio reading. Now, this is probably going to really impact you on a very deep level. This is happening in your 8th astrological house, which is ruled by Pluto, and it brings in Scorpio energy. So we are right on point with this full moon for you. So if there's anything that you're looking to change, anything you want to put an end to, anything that you want to start, this is where your focus is going to be right now. Some of you may be unearthing a little bit of a mystery. You might have a surprise that comes to you. This can be as a result of you doing a little bit of an emotional deep dive or an intellectual deep dive, or this can be just something completely out of the blue. So it can be something very positive for you as well, right? So maybe something that you wanted, something that you've wished for, something that you've manifested in. So this can be really wonderful because the 8th house with the Pluto energy does bring about endings, new beginnings, brings about transformation and growth. Now, the 8th house also has to do with your shared resources, okay? So some of you could possibly be getting an inheritance or discussing future inheritances, wills, and things like that at this time. Some of you could be either paying off a loan, full moon, a completion, or you could be looking to buy something new, and perhaps, you need to go and visit Mr. Bankerman there to get yourself a loan, because the 8th house has to do with loans. But you could be looking at your joint finances and assets, the things you share with someone else. So it can be a significant other, usually, right? But it can also be like business partnerships as well, right? Who owns what? And so you could be changing how you share your money, your resources, your responsibility with somebody at this time, or you could be forging down a new path. So some of you could be in a situation where maybe you've been dating somebody and now you're like, okay, we're going to get engaged or get married or move in together, whatever that looks like. And now you're looking at, okay, how do we share things responsibly? What is going to work for us? Some of you may be giving up something as well at this full moon, because the 8th house has to do with sacrifices also. So this can be maybe where you're feeling a little bit nostalgic and reflective with that Mercury retrograde, and you're looking at the past thinking, what have I sacrificed? What parts of myself have I sacrificed? Has it been worth it? And if you have sacrificed something of yourself for someone else, right? And if it hasn't been worth it, this is where you're going to take your power back. This is where you're going to really get things back under your own personal control, right? Pluto brings you power, but some of you may be feeling very generous and giving, so you may concede something at this time as well. This 8th house energy can also bring about a little bit of sensuality, a little bit of fantasy. So in your intimate world, okay, you read between the lines because I don't want to get demonetized or something stupid. So you think about that. The things that go on behind closed doors between two people, you might be feeling a little bit adventurous at this time. So perhaps you and a person are sharing your little fantasies with each other. But we do have your 2nd house also activated here with Venus and Taurus energy. So you could be really focused on your material assets, on your money, and how you spend it, how you make it, where you put it, and what it means to you even as well. And some of you could really be figuring out your own personal worth. Right? What am I worth? What am I value? And if you are in the situation anywhere in your life where you are not being treated the way you should be treated, or you're not being valued in some way, it's like, I know my worth and I'm willing to make some changes to better my situation so that I get what I deserve, or I get what I'm worth. And if you think about simply a job, right? Are you being paid an honest day's work for an honest day's pay? Are you being paid equally across the board, right? Is someone else doing the same job as you? And, maybe they started at the same time. You can't really compare yourself to someone who's got 10 years more experience than you, right? But if let's say you're comparing yourself to someone with the equivalent amount of experience in the same position, are you being paid differently than what they're being paid, right? So you could be having a look at that. And this can be where a significant turning point for you, where you are embracing your inner fire and you're like, no, I know what I deserve. And you're going to advocate for yourself at this time. And if you can't advocate for yourself, and if you don't get what it is that should be coming to you, then big changes may be afoot for you there. You can also be really looking at your spending habits as well, right? And making a little bit of a change. Wow, we have the underworld card coming out here represented by Hades. Hades is another name for Pluto. So, Scorpio full moon, ruled by Pluto or Hades. It's in your 8th house, Scorpio Pluto. And we have the Hades card. So, stay in the flow, people. Okay, don't resist change. You could already be feeling a little bit of a pinch with the energy that's coming in here with this full moon, or April in general, because there's been a hot pot full of energies and weird crap and all this kind of stuff going on. It's like, let's just take a whole bunch of planetary energies and throw them at the wall, is kind of what April has felt like for a lot of people. A lot of weird things, a lot of things coming out of the woodwork, a lot of changes, but some refreshing things here as well, right? And so you're already maybe feeling a little bit uncomfortable, shall we say, in this energy. And with this energy as well, you're going to be feeling uncomfortable as well, because it does invoke change in some area of your life, whether you're ready for it or not. And sometimes, as a fixed sign, you might dig in your heels a little bit. But if something has been stagnant or stuck for a while and it hasn't been working for you for a while, you could be really embracing your own personal power. But when we get the Hades energy, this is really about digging deep. When we've already said this in your reading, so this is kind of like the big exclamation mark on there, is that something from the depths may surface. Okay, whether you are purposely doing a little bit of an emotional deep dive kind of thing, digging into your own psyche, or whether there's something that comes up out of the woodwork, because the 8th house can bring a little bit of mystery and sometimes bring surprises as well. Something may be revealed to you at this time, or you may discover something at this time. But this can really be a significant turning point for you in this energy. This can be where something comes to fruition for you. This can be where you discover something about yourself, or about the world around you, or about your future path in this life here as well. You could also be really discovering what has been holding you back, or what has been making you feel a certain way. So something hidden, something from the depths, something from the shadows comes to light here with this energy. And you know what? As the saying goes, better out than in. Right? When something is out in the open, we can address it, we can see it, we can deal with it, we can feel it, and then we can figure out what to do with it, embrace it, or toss it to the side and let things go, right? So this can be a really transformative time for you guys and can bring in a little bit of healing. We have the 4 of water. Okay, so prepare for the unexpected. So there might be something that you're not seeing at this full moon. We've got the 6 of earth. This can be beautiful. Something may come back to you. And we've got the king of air. So we've got some clarity, a sense of purpose, some answers that you might be looking for. Or maybe you get the answers that you didn't even know that you needed. With the 4 of water here, there is an element of disinterest here, but there's also an element of being a little bit closed off, right? Not being open and not being in the flow. So again, part of the best way to navigate any kind of changes that we have to make, or changes that are happening around us, is to not resist. Be open, be receptive, be ready for action if you need to take some sort of action, but be in the flow, because when we resist change, we create blocks and obstacles, we create turbulence in our lives. And, if there's already something moving and shaking around you, whether it's something that you want or something that you don't want, right? And when we dig in our heels, we just make things a little bit worse, right? So we need to kind of allow things to flow. And this can really lead us down the path to something better, a better way of thinking, a better way of being, better opportunities, whatever that happens to be. But with the 4 of water here, I think maybe you've been waiting for something to happen. happen. You've been waiting for something to shift or change, or you've been kind of wondering about something. And with this Four of Water, this is a reminder to keep an open mind and an open heart, because something here can catch you off guard. Something here can come in from out of the sidelines when you least expect it. And something that you want can come in a different form. So be aware of seeds of opportunities that carry a lot of potential. And we do forget about that sometimes. It's like, I want $1 million. Well, great. Here's $5 to start. Do something with it, right? So it can be very easy to overlook opportunities that can bring us to where we want to go in the future, right? But we always have to kind of seize an opportunity and to work with it and make something out of it. But with the Six of Earth coming in here, number one, this is balance, fairness, and equality. And we already talked about that, right? About knowing your worth, knowing your value, honest days work for honest days pay, equal level of responsibility in a relationship, equal level of commitment in a relationship here as well, dividing out your finances, your resources. So that Six of Earth there is going to be very, very important. All right. And important conversation, King of Air, right? But communicating clearly in a way that gets results, right? So it's a really good thing. But the Six of Earth is also a circulatory energy. The good that you put out, the help that you put out, all of your efforts get rewarded. Something flows back to you. So this is a reminder always with the Six of Earth that if you have the time, the resources, the energy, put yourself out there and help other people. Do put the good out in the world that you want to see flow back to you. So for some of you, you might find yourself at this time in a position to help others, right? Remember we talked about sacrifices, but you could also have something flowing back to you in the best of ways. But this is a flowy energy, a circulatory energy with the Six of Earth, and you could have some blessings coming your way. But with the King of Air, this can certainly be your energy. You're getting insights, you're getting understanding, you're gaining wisdom on something, you're getting clarity on something. If you're asking a question, okay, you're going to find the answer. This is also about you, right? Maybe you're doing a little bit of a deep dive here and you discover something about yourself, and this can be really wonderful. The King of Air is also about having clarity and a sense of purpose and making a very important decision. So this could be a time when you do need to make some decisions in your life. But the King of Air is also about mastery, mastering your thoughts and communication, mastering that conversation, nailing that job interview, getting what you want, right? That kind of thing, and resolving things. So this can be a good energy. Now, this could also be someone around you that can play a key role for you around this full moon. And this can be somebody that you negotiate with. This can be somebody that you're talking to about your money, your finances, whether it's a significant other, whether it's, something like a banker, right? Or your boss, right? So something along those lines, you could have a very important conversation. There could also be a little bit of negotiation somewhere in here along the way. So again, if you are in a position where someone is, not showing you the respect that you deserve or not paying you what you're worth, that kind of thing, a conversation can resolve an issue. Possibly you may need a little bit of negotiation there, but this is certainly something here that can have a positive outcome. And don't forget that positive outcome can be walking away, right? But whatever it is, it's like, okay, thank you. Now I have the answers that I need, right? Whatever that looks like for you. So some very interesting energy that's coming in there, but we love having the Six of Earth. But this is like a very significant kind of synchronicities lining up for you. So pay very close attention. But like we said, go with the flow. So we're going to get you a couple blessings. Here is your first blessing. And we have the blessed treasure within. The qualities you admire in others you also possess. There is a treasure within you. This card is here to help you reconnect with the well of wisdom, creativity, and beauty inside you. It is time to shine your light. Here is your next card. A blessing in relationship. A current relationship is reflecting something that is wounded inside you. A wound from long ago, perhaps even from a past life. Look within, find the part of you that is wounded, and send it love. All will heal and you will be stronger and wiser for it. There's your deep dive. All right. I'm going to leave all that there for you guys. I hope there was something here for you. Good luck in this full moon. I thank you for watching. We are going to move on now to Taurus. Hello there, Taurus, and welcome to your full moon reading. This is going to put a very big focus here for you on relationships. So your relationships with other people, your friendships, your business relationships, and of course with your love life here as well. You can also be putting a focus on your family relationships. This is 7th house energy ruled by Venus, right? Venus is your ruler anyway. And so this can bring a little bit of love in your life. Some of you could have some things changing in a relationship in your life. And with the full moon can bring things to fruition, can bring some evolution and growth for you, but it can also bring endings. So this can sometimes represent where, you might be really looking at yourself, your life, where you're headed with your future. And you could be thinking about some of the relationships that you've got in your life and, you might not be feeling connected with them anymore. Okay. Or you could also be meeting some new people. So a little bit of an evolutionary energy there with our connections. But you could also have a little bit of some opposing energy here as well, right? There might be something that you want to do, that you want to accomplish, that you want to achieve, but you have other people to keep into consideration, right? So let's say you want to pack a bag and travel the world, but you've got kids and a spouse, right? Then that's probably a little bit challenging to do. So maybe you need to improvise a little bit or something like that, or plan like a shorter trip. This can be where, maybe you are also feeling in this energy that you have changed and that perhaps the connections that you've got right now really aren't ones that are going to be part of your happiness, your path in the future. And unfortunately, at full moons, especially under a Scorpio one at this time of year, unfortunately, we can have shakeups and breakups in this energy as well, because it's kind of that push and pull between, yourself and other people and how you are interlaced with them. So sometimes, we have change, we have evolution in relationships. Sometimes we can sit down and we can talk about things and we can resolve our issues in relationships, the dynamics that are there. But sometimes, yes, there is that breaking away. Because especially with Mercury retrograde, you're thinking about things, you're contemplating things, you're assessing things, you're reevaluating things here, right? So whether it's a breakup with a friend, a breakup with, a significant other, right? It can be something that sets you free. And part of the theme with this full moon is freedom, personal freedom, right? The freedom to do what you want, or the freedom to follow your bliss, right? So it can be a little bit challenging. But I do feel that some of you do have some happy vibes coming in here. You could have a relationship that is heading up to the next level. So some of you could potentially be getting engaged. If you're planning a wedding or something, maybe you find some resources, some money to, have like the wedding of your dreams kind of thing. Or you might even say in this energy is that, we don't need a big wedding. It's a waste of money. Let's take that money and put it towards something a little bit more practical. Because don't forget, we're in Taurus season as well, right? So we're in your season, and this is where you are focused on your goals, your dreams, your future, but also your resources, your finances. And so you might be looking to take a little bit more of a practical approach to bring yourself more wealth in your world, right? More stability, and especially economic stability, right? Financial stability. So this can be where you and either you yourself or you and someone else are making a little bit more of a practical plan. And this can really set you up for like an early retirement or that kind of thing. So some of you could also be looking at changing a job as well, right? We can have some new contracts that come in, or you're looking at your obligations, your contractual obligations, like, how much notice do I have to give if I leave my job? Or you could be entering into new contracts, right? And what does that entail? So just make sure that you pay attention to all of the fine print. We do still have Mercury retrograde, all right, so don't forget that. And yes, there's people that'll say never sign a contract or make major life changes while Mercury is in retrograde, but let's face it, life goes on. All we need to do is take a step back, make sure that we're not overlooking anything. So reassess and reevaluate, take our time. So we have cycles coming in here for you. All right. And so there's some changes or some healing that is coming in here for you guys. All right. Now I can't say that word because it's in some other language. Midgard serpent coming in here. And of course, a serpent can be a sign of, depending how you look at it, it can be a sign of danger, right? You know, some people think, oh, evil serpent, right? There's something nefarious going on. But the serpent typically does represent cycles and growth and healing, right? Because as a serpent, as a snake grows, right, it sheds its old skin. Sheds its old skin and brings in the new. And if we don't shed our skin, if we don't let things go that aren't working or that we've outgrown, right, then what happens if the snake doesn't shed the skin? They get sick, right? So this can be really significant for you in your world, in your relationships, you know, how you go forward through life, right? You're at your astrological new year, so you're looking ahead into the future. Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? What works? What doesn't work? And if you're not willing to shed the things that aren't working, whether it's something internally within you or whether it's external environments, connections, whatever it happens to be, then you fall into a state of disease, right? And we don't want that. We want things to be wonderful and bright and sparkly and shiny and happy and fun. And so this can be a huge, really, energy for you here. And this does represent cycles, right? So out with the old, in with the new, evolution, transformation. If things get stagnant and stuck, right, we forever go in a loop that just doesn't work for us, right? So embrace the cycles in life. Trust that everything has a season. Everything has a reason. Everything is meant to evolve in your world, right? Whether it is, you know, something easy breezy, right? Something that is wonderful. We've got growth and happiness and joy. And sometimes those cycles represent something difficult but can free us when we do let go. And so have a look at the cycles, what you need to heal, what you need to let go of, what are you shedding, right? So that you can experience that growth in your world, right? So a little bit of a deep energy. Okay, we've got temptation coming in here. Very interesting that we should have that particular card when we do have a serpent, right? Because the temptation card, you know, quite often is, if we think back to when these cards were like first done, right? You know, we've got Adam and Eve, right? We've got the Lovers card, which is Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. They're all happy. And then we've got like the snake that comes in with the apple and temptation. So very interesting in that energy. So you could be kind of, you know, seeing where you need to make some change. But we've got the Queen of Water coming in here as well. So we've got some healing energy for you. And we've got the Ten of Earth. So we've got some abundance. So the most significant energy here is temptation. And this is, of course, the Devil card, right? And in this energy, we always need boundaries and perspective, okay? We need to have a really honest look at our lives. Where do we need to unchain ourselves? What has power or control over us that is not healthy, right? Where do we take things into extremes, into excess? What people or situations or environments are around us that are not bringing us what we want and that we're stuck in, those patterns, those cycles that we're stuck in, right? It is the Devil card, right? So the things that are good on the surface, but, you know, I'm here for a good time, not a long time kind of thing, right? When we do get this particular card, this is we're trapped, we're stuck, we're bound by something, but we're always reminded that we have the power to change. We have the power to free ourselves from the things that are negative, toxic, the things that are addictive, right? The things that just aren't working for us, right? So we have the power to say no. We have the power to turn around and walk away, and we have the power to do things a little bit better. This does require a little bit of shadow work. Thank you, full moon in Scorpio. Okay, so there is something here that I feel you already know about, or something that you are going to really recognize somewhere around this time, where you know what, I can't do this anymore. I'm taking my power back, taking my mojo back. I'm going to do something a little bit better. I'm going to turn over a new page, a new leaf, and I'm going to either try something a little bit different, try something new, or I'm going to put up some boundaries and limitations there, right? Boundaries are always healthy. We always know that we need to put up boundaries, but sometimes, we waffle just a little bit. So this is something here that is really coming to your attention right now. You probably already know what it is, but remember, the serpent here represents healing and transformation and shedding of the things. Devil card, right? What is not healthy in your life, whether it's something internal within you, something from the past, something in the present, right? Or something that you don't want to repeat going to the future. Some of you are actually having a big ending, and a very successful ending at that, because the devil card can represent karmic cycles, and with the serpent here, with your cycles card, full moon and Scorpio, we are at the end of a karmic cycle and a successful completion of one at that. So this can be very healing, very freeing for you, and you might feel like the weight of your world has lifted off your shoulders. We do have the Queen of Water, and the Queen of Water can bring in love and happiness and joy and romance. Yes, it can really bring about highlight your psychic capabilities, your intuition, right? So all of these things, but it does bring in a sense of peace and calm and healing as well. So we do have this big healing element that comes in here, healing yourself, healing your past, your relationships, right? We've got a 10 of Earth coming in here, which is a card of abundance and success and happiness, joy, happy home, happy family, all of these kind of things. But it can also represent things that we inherit, right? And the things that we inherit from, our family, our talents, our traits, but things that we inherit can also be those life cycles, right? Those karmic cycles. So you could be really closing down something that is, you've carried this karmic pattern with you through generations, and you are the one that is making that change, that is making that progress. So, and it can be something, sometimes people are, well, what does that even mean? Well, it could be that in the 10 of Earth, that perhaps in your family, you have a history of divorce. And now with the Queen of Water here, you might be breaking down that cycle by saying, nope, we're not going to get divorced. We're going to do the heavy lifting. We're going to do the hard work. We're going to heal our relationship, and we're going to get things back on track, right? You could be closing down a cycle that way. There could be something here to do with money as well, that perhaps you are shutting down. It's like you are the chosen one, so you get to do the work, right? So whatever that looks like, right? Those patterns, cycles, habits, behaviors, right? We are shutting those things down or recognizing what we do need to fix, right? So that we can have a healthier, happier tomorrow. But the 10 of Earth can also represent that, yes, you're repairing something, you're getting things back on track. And it can also represent something coming to fruition for you as well. Because this can be really positive, right? The Temptation card here can be something that you've been singularly focused on in your material world. Maybe you've been working really hard in your career path, right? And this can be where you finally get the rewards, okay? Or you recognize your worth and your potential, and a situation here with Devil card that's not giving you what you're worth, right? You might be looking at making some change there to better your situation and to better your circumstances. But whatever it is, we're focused on turning something around in a good way. And yes, some of you could be receiving something very wonderful at this time as well. Something is coming to fruition for you. Maybe something that is just material, right? It can be money, because the Temptation card, the Devil energy, can be a focus on your material world, right? And so something that you've been focusing on, your money, your resources, that kind of thing, can come to you now at this time. So let's get you a couple of blessings coming in here because you got some slightly heavier energy here. But there is your first blessing. The blessed treasure within. The qualities you admire in others you also possess. There is a treasure within you. This card is here to help you reconnect with the well of wisdom, creativity, and beauty inside you. It is time to shine your light. And there is your next card. Om Shanti, peace blessing. How nice. Om Shanti, blessed are you with everlasting peace beyond words or understanding. Blessed are you with tranquility and bliss. Blessed are you with the clarity that reveals the beauty of your soul and through which all appears as infinite. It's a beautiful blessing of peace and healing. I'll leave that there for you guys. Good luck in this full moon. I thank you for watching, and we're going to move on now to Gemini. Hello there, Gemini, and welcome to your full moon reading. So this is happening in your 6th astrological house, and we've also got the sun in your 12th. So there could be a significant amount of healing energy that's coming in here for you guys. Now, this can be something spiritual, something emotional. This can be a focus on all of your full house health, happiness, and well-being. The 6th house is ruled by Mercury. Mercury, of course, is in retrograde. So you could be really reevaluating your daily habits, your routines, your patterns. You could be reevaluating, assessing your eating habits, your physical activity, right? All of these kind of things. And you could be really shifting your focus towards your health. Some of you could be wanting to get back on track with eating a little bit healthier. Maybe you want to be a little bit more physically active. Or perhaps you're going to finally make a decision to go and get that medical thing checked out. Great time for you to have go and for a checkup, right? Whenever we have our moon cycles in our 6th house, this is where we do put our focus. So there could be some really great things here that you want to change, but you could also be really recognizing how far you've come with something as well. So if you've been, perhaps focused on, let's say your physical health, right? And that kind of thing, maybe you've been wanting to lose weight or put on weight, right? Sometimes people want to do that as well. And this can be where you do give yourself a little bit of assessment and you're like, yes, I've made some progress. And so hopefully you celebrate your success in some way, right? Give yourself that pat on the back because you probably worked quite hard and you really do deserve it. But we do have your 12th house activated here as well. All right. And so there could be something here that you are dreaming about that you want to do. The 12th house does have to do with your dreams, also has to do with your subconscious, right? With your intuition. So it can be that your intuition is nagging you about something here. And you might have been kind of pushing it down, pushing it aside. And now here's the full moon illuminating something for you. So if you've been ignoring your intuition in some sort of aspect here, expect the universe to come and give you a big old hit over the head to make you pay attention in some way. It can come in your dreams. You might be all of a sudden seeing a bunch of signs. All right. And, maybe there's just something that you can no longer ignore, right? It doesn't have to be anything about your health. It can just be about anything in general. But your 12th house energy, it can be a very quiet energy. It's one where we kind of retreat a little bit, okay? And we really do recognize, or we really do focus on what we do need to change, what we do need to put an end to in that. So, because it is the final chapter kind of thing, right? So, it can be, where you kind of do a little bit of meditation, engage with your own energy, your spiritual self, right? And maybe get a little bit of answers or enlightenment, or just kind of want to feel a little bit better. You want to feel a little bit more connected, a little bit more at one with yourself, with the universe, that kind of thing. So don't forget to do that at this full moon. All right, because there could be something very significant that's shifting within you at this time. Okay. But you could be feeling a little bit of a push and pull between, I just want to, stay at home and daydream and be a little bit of a slug, and, between that sixth house energy of making some changes, or, getting yourself out there, taking some sort of initiative on something. All right. Switching up your daily routines can be very, very challenging sometimes, but also very rewarding. So maybe there's some daily habits that you have that you are looking to drop, that you're looking to change, maybe to free yourself up some time to follow your goals and your dreams and your imagination. We have loneliness here with Lemur energy. Okay, so when we get this, excuse me, this is a reminder that there is a difference between being alone and being lonely. All right. And we can be alone, spend some quiet time to ourselves, be alone with our thoughts, read a book, read a movie, putter around the house, that kind of thing. And we can be in a solitary state without being lonely. Comfortable in your own skin. You enjoy your own company. You have great conversations with yourself. It's not as weird as you think, right? And it's perfectly fine. But by the same token, you can be in a group of people, or you can be in a relationship and be lonely as well. You're not alone, but you're still lonely because you're not feeling that connection. So when we get this particular energy, this is number one, to remind you that it's okay to be alone. It's okay to spend some time with yourself. It's okay to spend time in solitude. And quite often we do need that a little bit to recharge our batteries. So this can be a call to action, okay, to spend a little bit more time with yourself, and you, right? Do something nice for yourself, right? And sometimes we need to kind of just do a little bit of solitary activity. But this is also a reminder that, if you feel alone or disconnected or left out when you are with people or in certain environments or in a relationship, a friendship, romantic relationship, whatever it happens to be, then this is your opportunity here with this full moon to change your situation, change your circumstances. So maybe you just need to find different ways to reconnect with somebody, find more common interests, spend some more time together, quality time, that kind of thing. Have, some heart-to-heart conversations. Or perhaps there's something here that you're like, I need to switch things up a little bit. Something here that's just not working. I'm just not feeling the connection. I've tried and tried and tried, and I'm still feeling a little bit lost and lonely. And I think I would rather be alone than, feel lonely in this relationship. So some of you could, and don't forget, we do have 12th house energy here, right? So some of you here could be really having a look at the status of your situation, and making those big changes, those big decisions, right? Full moon can be about endings, right? And so you're doing a little bit of an emotional deep dive, as we all are in this full moon. You're going into the shadows. You're digging deep. That's that Pluto energy, right? Not always easy, always rewarding. We have Lover's card. Love. Interesting. 8 of Fire. And the Page of Water. Wow. So with the Lover's card here, this is assessing your relationships, assessing your environments, assessing yourself. The Lover's card does bring in those connections, right? So it can really have a focus on you, connecting with your own energy, connecting with your thoughts, your wants, your needs. It is card number 6. And of course, this full moon is happening in your 6th house. And one of the first aspects with this particular card is connecting with your higher self. Remember, we've got 12th house energy also activated. So connecting, getting yourself, finding balance within, finding the healing within, getting yourself back on track, but getting yourself in the flow of your own energy, right? And maybe even spending a little bit of alone time. But this can also represent a focus on your connections and your relationships that are around you, and making a choice, making a decision, right? You're assessing something. Matters of the heart are always quite complicated. And this can be, am I feeling connected with the people that I'm surrounded with? Am I feeling connected with, with life in general? And if not, what does that look like? Can I fix something? Can I get something back on track? Or do I need to make the steps to break off some of this connections and this energy and go it alone and try a new way of living and a new way of life? So this is a very important decision that affects your heart. I do feel that some of you are doing something nice for yourself, though. You're trying something new. We've got a page of water coming in here. This can be about getting really creative, doing something fun, doing something interesting. The 8 of fire can be about getting more active, right? That kind of thing. And also bring in a lot of big creative boost and feeling really quite inspired. So in this energy, and especially when we've got the 6th house energy, perhaps you want to make some changes in your world. You need to take a little bit of a creative approach, or maybe you're feeling a spark of inspiration and you're like, I know what I need to do to feel like I'm, back on track or connected with the world. And with the 8 of fire, you are, boom, taking action, moving forward. And the page of water, maybe trying something new, or just, making those improvements, or you're getting a little bit creative, right? And having a little bit of fun. The page of water does bring in some fun energy, right? And so this can be really kind of cool. Some of you here, if you are assessing maybe a personal relationship or something, or areas of your life, you're willing to try new things with the page of water, right? This can bring about a new perspective. This can bring about some enlightenment, right? The page of water. Some of you are having some spiritual growth here in a big way. So spending that quiet time alone is going to be important for you. The page of water quite often does spark our spiritual selves, right? So you could be getting some answers if that's what you're looking for, their inner guidance, right? This is very much on point. You might have a surprise coming your way. You could surprise yourself, but someone in your world could surprise you, or you could, again, get something back on track and fix and heal something. But we do have some kind of new energy that may come in here with this page of water, or some improvements, right? There's the 8 of fire right here in the middle, right? This can be very busy energy. This can be some exciting energy, a buzz in the air. This can also be one of forward momentum, moving forward, taking action, taking initiative, setting intentions, and then getting things done, starting something new, making those improvements. Because the pages can bring in new energy, but it can also represent taking something to the next level, right? Or doing something just a little bit different, right? And the page of water can be about your health, happiness, well-being, right? It can bring in all of that focus on your emotional body. And it can also be one where you're maybe letting go of some expectations and not taking something too seriously, right? Because it is a page energy full of fun and excitement and a sense of wonder and joy. But we're not taking things too seriously with this energy. So sometimes when we drop some expectations, and we just go and get something started or do something about our situations. Like I'm not focused on a huge goal or a huge outcome. I'm just focused on getting started, sometimes half the battle, about things, right? Getting things off the ground. Okay. And this can be where you just feel a sigh of relief because you've released some sort of expectation and you're a little bit more in the flow with this energy. So if you're starting a new exercise regime, say it's like, I want to lose some weight. Well, instead of stepping on the scale every day, page of water, 8 of fire, you're just going to do it. You're just going to step into it. And you're just going to be like, you know what? I'm going to take a different approach, a new approach at something, a healthier approach at something here, and release those expectations. I'm just going to go out and I'm just going to do, the goal in mind is to be more healthy, right? And, however that looks like, however that unfolds for you is going to be the way that things are meant to unfold for you, right? So when we release some expectations, we can kind of be a little bit more in the flow of things, right? But with the Eight of Fire and the Page of Water, okay, there could be something very interesting manifesting into your world here at this full moon as well. Some of you could be meeting new people. Page of Water can represent meeting new people, a potential soulmate with the Lover's card there. And this can be something that you have wished for, something you've set your intentions for. The Eight of Fire can bring in some good news, some positive communication, but it doesn't have to be a romantic soulmate. It can be a friend, right? It can be someone that's just energetically on the same page as you, right? Maybe you, you've got someone you work with and you're like, hey, I want to go and take a Zumba class, but I don't really want to go alone. And this person could be like, I've always wanted to do that too. And the next thing you know, you click and you've got a new friend, right? So our soulmates that are here for us are here for a reason, season, or a lifetime. And sometimes it's just for certain aspects of our life, right? But they do bring in usually some change. But let's grab some blessings for you. And there's your first one. A blessing through emotional upheaval. Ooh. An emotional storm is forming and things may seem chaotic for a while, but as the storm subsides, a blessing is revealed. Respect all points of view, for we each view the world a little differently. Things are being shaken up for good reason, and all involved will benefit. And there's your next blessing. Blessing without borders. In essence, we are living energy flowing through the ocean of human consciousness, spiritual beings moving through cycles of life, birth, death, and rebirth. We are all interconnected and in communication with each other, no matter how much physical space appears to separate us. Feel the blessed presence of someone you love in this moment in your heart. I'll leave that there for you guys. I hope there was something here for you. Good luck in this full moon. We're going to move on now to Cancer. Hello there, Cancer, and welcome to your full moon reading. So this can be fun for you guys. All right, you could be wrapping up a creative project that you've been working on. Maybe you've put in the finishing touches on something. You could be feeling extra creative at this time. Maybe you're wanting to rearrange your furniture in your house or paint your walls or something like that. This moon can be very transformative for you in a lot of ways, but this is happening in your 5th astrological house and ruled by the sun and bringing in some Leo energy. This can be where you get a burst of creativity, a burst of inspiration. This can be where you make a decision to make some changes in your life or to have more fun in your life. Maybe you want to pick up a new hobby or something, and you're creating space and time to do that, to start something new. The 5th house has to do with love and romance. Okay, it can represent your hobbies, your interests, the things that you take pleasure and joy in at this time. So this can be really fun, really exciting for you. But of course, with a full moon, okay, if you're not wrapping up a creative project or endeavor or something like that, you could also be leveling up in something. So if you've been learning something, let's say you've been learning, taking like an art class or taking like a music class, maybe you've been learning to play like the guitar or something. This can be where you level up and you're like, oh, I didn't realize how far I'd come. Someone could hear you playing your musical instrument and they'll be like, oh my goodness, you've gotten good. And this can be a nice little confidence boost for you guys. But if you're not leveling up in some way, you could also be looking to see, what do I need to put an end to so that I can make time to have more fun in my life? What does that look like to you? For some of you, it could represent that maybe work gets in the way, okay? Because we do have the sun in your 11th house, all right? Your 11th house energy is about your wishes and your dreams. And so you could have been working on something very diligently for the last little while, something that you've wanted, something that you've wished for. And this can be that it has prevented you from having a little bit more fun and pleasure and joy in life, but it's something that you have really wanted, something that might bring you a little bit of freedom, right? So you might be wrapping something up there that has been very important to you. And once you wrap that up, you maybe make more space and time to have a little bit of fun. But your 11th house energy is activated as well. It brings in this Uranus energy here for you guys. And this can be where you are looking at your life a little bit and saying, okay, I'm working too hard. I've got all these responsibilities. And you might be really looking to see how you can simplify your life a little bit. Especially if you've got a lot of obligations. Your 11th house has to do with your wishes, your goals, your dreams. Also has to do with liberty, freeing yourself from something or finding freedom in something here. Also has to do with your future. Okay, so some of you, it can be challenging to live in the present and live in the moment when you're thinking about your future. We need to remember to take pleasure and joy in the here and the now. All right. Stop putting things off until tomorrow. But your 11th house also has to do with like your social groups and things like that also. So again, you could be thinking of simplifying your life a little bit. Like for example, if you've, have Facebook groups and things like that, and you're like, this isn't fun anymore. I need to let this thing go. Right. So you could be changing your connections in your social environment in some way to free yourself, give yourself some more time, and also maybe to clean up like your news feed or something like that there. All right, but this can be very fun and very sparkly for you, and some of you may have a wish coming true. We have focus, all right. We've got Gate Sith coming in there, okay, and looks like a little kitty cat, right? A little bit of magic there for you, but focus, hocus pocus, focus on your wishes, your goals, your dreams. Where do you need to focus a little bit more in your life? And this can also be where something that you have been focusing on is coming to fruition. But when we focus on something, we want to make sure that we're not stepping over the line into obsessive territory. Okay, because that creates that creates some difficulties. Okay, focus is one thing, obsession is another thing, right? Because then we don't allow anything else to happen. All right, so something that you've been focusing on can really be playing out in a very positive way. But when we have Kate Sith coming in here, okay, this is a reminder to pay attention to your details. Okay, the full moons can bring illusion, right? They can bring illumination, but they can also bring illusion. Okay, so something may not be quite what it seems. If you're making some very important decisions on something, make sure that you are checking all of the details and the fine print. All right, remember we do have Mercury in retrograde as well, right? So yes, we want to embrace some fun energy and all these kind of things. But sometimes we do need to pay attention and make sure that there's something that we truly want, truly desire before we make the changes or before we embrace something new or before we let something go. Okay, so that's a very important message that comes out with this particular card. Okay, this is also to pay attention to the little things, because oftentimes the things that we've wished for, the things that we're manifesting in our lives, come in via the small opportunities, the small things. Don't overlook the small things because they can lead to big things. And sometimes we are so focused as humans on the big things that we don't see the potential in things, right? So this is that reminder to pay attention to the details, to focus on certain things, to ask questions, to examine something that may come to light for you and see what the potential may be. Where can this potentially go? Because yes, sometimes things can come in quite quickly, but then they can poof like the drop of a hat as well. And if it's truly meant for us, no, it will never pass us by, but sometimes we need to wait a while for it to come back around again. And if something's coming in for you now, why wait? Right? So you might have an opportunity, but it's a seed of an opportunity coming in, and this can be your cue, okay, to seize the moment. All right, but remember, first assess and make sure that it's something that you want. Ask them questions, get the information, and then if it is something in alignment with your wishes and your dreams, seize the opportunity. We have the Empress card coming in here for you. Love that. The Queen of Earth. Okay. And we have the Hermit. Wow, a lot of Earth energy here for you, Cancer. So number one, this is a reminder to ground and protect your energy. All right, stay grounded, stay focused. Okay, keep an open mind, keep an open heart. All right, it's also a reminder to take your time. Okay, the Empress shows the number one, the creative aspect that this moon holds for you, your fifth house energy, your creativity. Okay, so something that you've been creating or something that you want to create is right at your fingertips, right here, right now. The Empress does bring in new beginnings, but it also brings in fertility and growth and abundance into your life. So something could be blossoming for you at this time, especially with the Queen of Earth. It's also your time to blossom and shine here, so don't forget that. Okay, it's time for you to be a little bit bright and sparkly. But this can also represent that this is a time of harvest for you. So something can be coming to fruition for you in some way, and something that you've been waiting for. You've been very patient. The Queen of Earth, very nurturing, very down to earth, very patient, right? You plant the seeds, and then the Queen of Earth is where we tend our garden, we tend our manifestations and watch them grow. So this can be a reminder that sometimes we need to start fresh, start new. So we all got to start somewhere. And then when we nurture, we take our time. We're patient with things. We allow things to grow. This is where all the magic happens. And this is where something really wonderful can transpire. So again, don't overlook those small opportunities. But also some of you have something coming to fruition here, and don't look a gift horse in the mouth, right? Just look and say, yes, this is exactly what I've wanted. And thank you very much, and count your blessings. And here we go. But there's a huge amount of abundance coming in here for you guys. So I love that, right? There's also an element of nurturing self, nurturing you. The Hermit can represent a very solitary energy, but it can be a focus on you, your goal, your dreams, your purpose in life, right? It's quite often where we do a little bit of soul searching. So this is saying at this full moon, it's going to be very important to take care of yourself, your energy, do something that you want to do something nice for yourself, and it might be a really great time for you to spend in a little bit of quiet meditation or solitude. This can be where you get some answers. This can be where you figure something out, because the Hermit, when we connect with our higher selves, when we do spend some time alone, we quite often get clarity, we get some answers. But in this energy also, this can say, where do I want to go? What do I want to do? Am I on the right path? Am I on the right track? Are there more doors opening for me? What doors do I have the ability to open here? And what lights my path forward? So again, you might be getting some sort of answers there for yourself in alignment with your future and your future path. But there is a healing energy that comes in here with the Hermit also. So you could be healing your finances at this time. You could be healing yourself as well at this time, doing something fun, doing something exciting, doing something nice for yourself, whatever that happens to be for you. But yes, there could be something coming to fruition that lights the path forward for you on your forward journeys. This can be really wonderful. The Queen of Earth, again, can bring in some abundance into your life, as can the Empress. There could be something coming to harvest for you guys, and you just need to figure out with the Hermit, is this what I want? Is this the right path for me? And then if the answer is yes, boom, seize the moment, seize the opportunity, right? Whatever that looks like for you. But certainly a little bit of a slower energy with the Queen of Earth and the Hermit. But the Empress, this is love and beauty and resources and all kinds of wonderful things all around you and surrounding you. And so you could have a little bit of a surprise at this time as well. So Hermit energy as well, just saying, Hermit energy here can also represent that there is, yes, a healing potential for something, to get something back on track or to fix something here. But this can be a really good time for you guys to potentially seek out some sort of advice or wisdom. This can be a time of spiritual growth for you, but you might also be considering spending a little bit of money and perhaps getting yourself like a spiritual reading of some kind, or getting like a Reiki session done. Maybe you want to go to, go to like a spiritual medium or something, get a tarot reading done, an astrology reading, that kind of thing. Very spiritual energy with the Hermit, and it quite often can represent a little bit of a wise old sage. So if you don't have a Virgo person in your life or entering your life, right, then this can be that part of your path to healing and personal growth and enlightenment can be to get a little bit of help from the outside. So there is a blessing for you guys here. The blessing of just being. Well, hello, Hermit. Okay. Some of you are going to retreat into your bat cave a little bit here. You may have been thinking that if you had acted or chosen differently in the past, things would be better now. But in thinking this way, you fail to see the positive aspects your past actions and choices have had on both yourself and others. Look closely and you will see many blessings. Sometimes we need to kind of take a step back a little bit and recognize that. And there is your next blessing, a sea of blessings. The universe is a projection from within you, and you are a projection of the universe. You are vast space, and yet you are spaceless. You are a divine ocean of love, a sea of blessings. You are the wind of change that flows through life. I'm going to leave those there for you guys. I hope there was something here for you. Good luck in this full moon, and I will see you guys later. We're going to move on now to Leo. Hello there, Leo, and welcome to your full moon reading. You might find yourself being a little bit of a homebody at this particular full moon. This is a great energy for you to spend some time at home in your quiet space, spend some time with your family. This is happening in your 4th astrological house. So this is very connected with the moon, but very connected with your home, your privacy. This represents your family, your children. So this can be where you are spending a little bit of time at this moon. There could be something around your home or family environment that is blossoming at this time, a little bit of growth. So there could be potentially some birth announcements, that kind of thing, but there can also be some healing that comes in here within the family unit. Some of you could be discovering something about your ancestry in this energy as well. We do have a little bit of an energy of mystery, something coming to light at this time, right? So it could be like a family secret that gets revealed, or just something about some of your past family members, right? So maybe you're working on a family tree, you're interested in where you've come from, or perhaps you're wanting to know a little bit of family history, especially for medical reasons. But you might find that work gets in the way, okay? Because we do have the sun in your 10th house, okay? So this is like work, home, okay? So maybe you're trying to find a little bit more balance between your work life and your home life. You're trying to figure those things out. There's something here that needs to change. Some of you could potentially, here in this energy, be looking at, especially if you do any work from home or you've got a home-based business, maybe something you do on the side, you might be looking to see how can I expand that at this time, right? Maybe you've gained a pretty good reputation so far. You've got good reviews about whatever product it is that you create or whatever it is that you do. And this is like, okay, is this a time for me to expand? Maybe I need to move my business out of my home and into like a brick and mortar or into an office space or whatever. So you could be looking at that now as well. But it can be that you've got some ambitions in your career path and you're gaining a good reputation. So your 10th house can certainly represent some achievements. It can be a great energy for you to make some changes or some progress in your career path and your career life. This is where you're using the reputation that you've built to your advantage in some way. But you could also be questioning, what does it all mean? Right. And, so when we spend all of our time at work and trying to make money and, improve our reputation, all that kind of stuff, it's great. Sorry, camera cut off. So this can represent that, when we're questioning what everything means, we work so hard and we don't have time to spend with our loved ones and our family, in our home, the things that are important. So you could be really looking at making some changes so you can spend more time at home. You can spend more time with your family. But that can also be a motivation for you to get out there and really have a successful career so that you can provide for the people that you love. Okay. So a little bit of a back and forth there between your home life and your business life, right? But you could be potentially looking for some career changes, So work from home, find something with a better home life balance, that kind of thing. And that can be really important for you at this time as well. We have blessings coming in here for you guys. Count your blessings. When we count our blessings, we give thanks and gratitude to the universe. We get more things, of course, to be grateful for. Some of you could have some things coming to fruition for you at this time. So you could have some blessings coming in. So this can be really wonderful. It can be some money. It can be opportunity. It can be time, the blessing of time, right? The thing we can't get back. So it could be something wonderful like that. It can be something unexpected at this moon as well. All right. But something that can change your life for the better, maybe even bring you a little bit more freedom in your world. But this is also a big reminder from the universe here to find the blessings in the things that have been difficult, the things that have been challenging, the things that have rocked our world, the things that have caused us pain and grief and stress. Right? When we come out on the other side of challenges and difficulties and we look back, we reflect a little bit. This is where we can really gain a little bit of wisdom and understanding about, now I understand why this happened, or I'm glad now that this particular thing happened because I wouldn't be where I am now. So this is where when we find the blessing out of pain and discomfort and challenges in our life that we've overcome, it's our path to healing, right? It's like, I'm not mad about this anymore because I wouldn't have this. So it's a blessing in disguise, right? And sometimes those are the best blessings. So this is our path to healing, releasing, letting go, and really looking forward to the future. And we feel a little bit lighter and brighter. So you could be gaining a little bit of insight there. We have the Fool. Lovely. The Fool can represent some fun and some excitement. Oh, we have the Tower. Oh, some of you are looking to shake things up a little bit. And we've got the Five of Fire. Oh, man. Okay. So the Fool and the Tower coming in at the same time. It's very interesting. We've got Uranus energy with the Fool. We've got Mars energy with the Tower. Moving and shaken indeed. Okay. The Fool can represent new beginnings, a fresh start, can be wiping the slate clean. It can be one of, I want to do this thing, I'm excited for it, and I'm willing to make some massive changes in my life in order to make something happen. So it could be something here that you're really excited about, right? But in order for you to follow your path or to get things on track to where you want them to be, you do have to make some changes. When we get the Tower coming in here, now the Tower can be sudden, unexpected change. This can be where we feel like our world is crumbling and falling apart, but sometimes we can very much be the mastermind of our own Tower moment. Now, sometimes the Tower comes in as a sudden epiphany or revelation. And with the Fool, it can represent some new information coming in or new opportunities presenting themselves to you. And this can be like potentially really life-changing. It can alter your future, alter where you want to go. It can also bring you some freedom. The Fool, free, right? Freedom energy also brings a little bit of rebellious energy with that Uranus influence there. So this can represent where there's something shifting, something changing, something new coming in, or something going on externally or even internally within you. And this is shedding of the old to welcome and make room for the new. Freeing yourself from fears, restrictions, doubts, freeing yourselves from obstacles, right? Things that have just been not working for you, or things that it's like, this isn't going to be my future. I'm going to leave it behind because I've got a better path. Right? So you might be the mastermind of your own Tower moment, making your own big changes here. Okay. You could be finding yourself a little bit impulsive. Okay. Or a little bit ants in your pants kind of energy, right? It's like, I want to get something done. I want to get something done now. I want to make these changes now. So just be a little bit aware of that energy. Okay. Because remember, we do have Mercury retrograde. We're at a full moon. Emotions run high. So just make sure, yes, there might be something here that you want to change or you want to toss out the window. Okay. Just make sure you're taking a step back and assessing your situation properly. Okay. And then jumping right in with both feet. But there could be something here that is a life-changing event or some information or something that comes in, and you are going to need to take the leap of faith. Right? The whole purpose of the tower is to clear the path for something new, or some better experiences, or to take the next level of something, right? But we are making room for what we want and what we need. We're keeping the important stuff. We're keeping our foundation, right? But we're letting go of something excess that's not working for us, right? So we're making the room for that. So let's have a look. Since we're moving and shaking things, let's have a look and see what blessings may be coming your way here for you guys at this full moon. Let's see. Thank you. All right. And here we go. Woo. There's your first blessing. The blessing of questioning, Ask a question. You might receive an answer. Examine and identify any belief that stems from an irrational fear. Ask yourself, do I need this? If the answer is no, then replace it with a trusting, more loving belief. Blessings flow to you as soon as you do this. Set yourself free, and that tower energy will certainly help you to do that. There's your next blessing. A blessing in a relationship. A current relationship is reflecting something that is wounded inside you, a wound from long ago, perhaps even a past life. Look within, find the part of you that is wounded, and send it love. All will heal, and you will be stronger and wiser for it. That's what I have for you guys. Good luck in this full moon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Hello there, Virgo. Welcome to your full moon reading. You guys might be finding yourself doing a lot of thinking at this time. You could be quite reflective on things. You could be having some big ideas at this time as well. This is landing in your third house of communication, thinking, your big ideas. We've got your philosophies on life, on the universe, and so this can be a really great opportunity for you to expand your mind, to learn something new, or maybe even gain some wisdom and understanding about something here. With Mercury ruling your third house, Mercury is retrograde, so you could really be taking a step back right now and having a look at the big picture, where you've been, where you are now, and where you want to get to. So it is this really big kind of expansive energy. We've got the sun in your ninth house, ruled by Jupiter, right? So this has to do with your spirituality, religion, belief systems, your higher mind. Maybe you're wanting to learn something at this time. This also has to do with the law. So there could be some legalities that are wrapping up for you at this time. Or you could be wanting to expand your horizons by traveling. And if you don't currently have a passport, then probably this is the time when you're going to be like, oh, I can only do short trips right now, close to home, third house, but I want to go on a bigger adventure, on a bigger trip, ninth house. And so what do you need to do? A legal document. So you need to get your passport in order if you want to spread your wings and fly. But yes, you could be experiencing a little bit of wisdom and growth here. You could also, in this full moon, be feeling a little bit more sociable. Your third house energy does have to do with your neighborhood, where you live, also have to do with your social life, and of course your perception about things as well. So there could be something shifting, something changing, something coming to an end right there, or maybe even something expanding. So expanding your social network, expanding where you're connected, right? Maybe you want to move to a new neighborhood, or you might have some new people coming into your neighborhood here as well. With your ninth house can be about foreign people. So you could get a very intriguing new neighbor that comes to your hood. This can be somebody that has maybe come from a country that you're interested in or you want to learn more about. So this can be really quite fun for you a little bit in that regard. But this is an awesome, awesome time to put your thoughts down on paper. Your ninth house has to do with publishing, your third house, your thoughts, your communication, right? And so it's a great time to start a journal or even look back, reflect, Mercury retrograde, on things that you have written down previously if you keep a journal of any kind, especially back to that new moon in Scorpio from autumn of 2023. There could be something very enlightening that comes to the forefront for you, something that you've forgotten about along your journey. We have choice energy coming in here with Valkyrie. So what choices are you making here? Now, when we're, really kind of embracing our thoughts, our communication, all of this kind of stuff, some of you could be making a decision on where you live. You could be making a decision on where to travel. You could be making a decision, what do I believe in, right? Maybe you're using the sword right here, the sword on there, to cut some things out of your life. Full moon, right? You're done with something here, or something is not necessarily going to grow with you along the path forward. So this can be especially where you have your social life connected here, this can be where you are making some changes in who you spend time with, right? Your time is precious, your time is short, and feel here that if you're experiencing some growth in any level whatsoever, whether it's spiritual growth, whether it's philosophical growth, maybe you're just following a different kind of path, right? You're evolving. And as that happens, we do tend to lose connections in our lives, right? Because we attract, or we gravitate towards people and situations that are vibing at our same vibration, right? So this is where, if we're no longer feeling energetically connected, right, then this is where you may be departing or detaching from people or groups in your life right now, because you are seeing things a little bit differently. And, as your time is precious, right, you don't want to necessarily put all of your eggs in one basket and put all of your time in things that just aren't really in alignment with who you are anymore. But yes, this is a choice. What do you believe in? What do you need to let go of? What are you embracing new? What are you learning? Where are you spending your money? Where are you traveling? Where do you live? All of this kind of stuff, very thought-provoking energy at this time. And you could be making some very important decisions, some important choices, all right? Let's see, we've got the Page of Fire coming out here. So yeah, pack your bags and put in your passport application, because the Page of Fire likes a little bit of an adventure. We've got the Hierophant here. There's your belief systems, your higher mind, your higher education. And we have the Seven of Water. A lot of options, a lot of choices, a lot of possibilities. So in this energy, you're ruled by the Hierophant with this one. This is Taurus energy that's coming in here. We're in Taurus season, so this could be the time for you to expand your mind, expand your horizon, and commit to the things that you want. But first, you need to figure out what you want, right? The Seven of Water can bring in, it's the Seven of Cups energy. It can bring in a lot of opportunities, a lot of potential. This can represent your imagination, your dreams. But it also represents your fantasies, right? Your daydreams as well. And so in this energy, there could be something that you've been dreaming about, that you've been fantasizing about a little bit, but you haven't taken that dream and put it into reality yet. With the Hierophant here being very down to earth and practical and very committed, with the Page of Fire taking action, taking initiative, this can be an opportunity for you to make the choice to decide what it is that you want, Seven of Water, and then go for it. So whatever that looks like to you, relationship, travel, putting a document in, publishing a document, creating a blog or a vlog of some sort, something like that, going out and having fun, pursuing some higher education, perhaps, right? That's highlighted for you at this time as well. Whatever it happens to be, right? We're not sitting down. We're not going around in circles, because Seven of Water can bring in some confusion and can bring in a sense of feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I just don't know. I don't know what I want. I don't know where I'm going to go. I kind of have a vision, a dream in my head, but I don't know how to make it happen. So with the Hierophant, you could be seeking out some advice, or you could be in here, you could be doing a little bit of research, right? Figuring out what happens if I do this, where will this path lead me, right? That kind of thing. And then instead of going around in circles and procrastinating on something, boom, off to the races you go because you've made a decision, you've made a choice. This can also be where you need to have faith. The Hierophant does represent faith and your beliefs. Now, whether you have faith in yourself or you believe in yourself or your belief systems are changing, right? The Seven of Water, sometimes we get stuck in a little bit of a rut because we're afraid. We're afraid of the outcome. We're afraid of success. We're afraid of failure. We're afraid of change, right? And so there's something here that sometimes keeps us in this loop of procrastination. And this is your opportunity to break out of that, to break free from that, whatever that looks like to you. So it sounds like you've got a little bit of a choice to make, right? But the Seven of Water does show you've got choices, you've got options. You don't have to follow the same path that everyone else does. You can break free. The main theme of this full moon is freedom. Freedom from restriction, freedom from doubt, freedom from fear, freedom from the old ways of doing things, freedom from releasing yourself from other people's expectation. Oh man, is that ever liberating when you can do that, right? Because sometimes we, especially if you're any kind of people pleaser at all, right? Sometimes it's really hard to live up to other people's expectations and we forget to live our own life because we are in kind of that little people pleasing mode. So this is like freedom and breaking away from that. But the Page of Fire, some of you could be getting some really exciting news at this time. The Hierophant, yes, it's a very belief-based energy. It's about having faith, but it's also about ascension. It's about going up to the next level, opening your mind. It is also about your higher mind, right? So higher education, learning something about your wisdom, right? But it can also be where you're seeking out some sort of counsel of some kind, right? So it is known as the marriage card as well. So maybe some of you have an important decision to make and something very important to discuss with an important person in your life. Where am I committed? Am I committed to the right things? Am I committed to my goals and my dreams, or am I committed to someone else's? Right? So this can have you really thinking, doing a lot of deep thinking here at this time of making sure that you are committed to the right people, places, things, the right dreams, the right goals, right? And if you're not, then you might be making some changes at this full moon. So this can be quite enlightening for you here in all of this energy. But whatever your situation is, some of you might be getting some good news, something exciting could be opening up for you. The pages do quite often bring in some messages, some sort of news, and the Page of Fire is really exciting. You could be getting new sources of inspiration. You could be feeling extra creative. But there could also just be this sense of like itchy feet. Like I am just itching to make some change. I'm itching to get out and explore the world. Because again, this is like an expansive mind, expansion of your mind energy that's coming in. So if you're feeling stuck, you might get some sort of breakthrough. So this can be really quite exciting for you guys. Let's get you guys a couple of blessings. There's your first one. Now, in all these readings, I haven't seen this one come out yet. And we have a blessing of acceptance. Every part of you is equally worthy of love. Accept yourself as you are, and this will be a blessing unto yourself and others. If you wish to see the truth of the matter, hold no preference, either for or against a particular outcome. Just be the love that you truly are. And there's your next blessing. Blessing without borders. In essence, we are living energy flowing through the ocean of human consciousness, spiritual beings moving through cycles of life, birth, death, and rebirth. We are all interconnected and in communion with each other, no matter how much physical space appears to separate us. Feel the blessed presence of someone you love in this moment in your heart. That's what I have for you guys. I hope there was something here for you. Good luck in this full moon. I thank you for watching, and we're going to move on now to Libra. Hello there, Libra, and welcome to your full moon reading. This is happening in your second house of money, of wealth, of resources. So there could be something changing in regards to your financial position. This can be changes in how much money you make. This can be changes in how you spend your money or how you invest money. For some of you here, you could be getting a little bit of a financial boost, all right? Whether it's some extra money coming in or whether you're changing your circumstances so that it feels like you have more money, paring back on your subscriptions, perhaps, right? Your, all of these monthly subscriptions that we all have now to all of these apps. Maybe you're having a look and saying, okay, enough is enough. I'm spending $300 a month on these stupid things. Let's choose 3 that we want to keep and ditch the rest, right? And then it all of a sudden feels like you're more prosperous because you don't have all this frivolous money going out the door. Some of you in this energy could be recognizing and realizing your self-worth, how much value you bring to the table, especially in like your career path. And this can be where, you might have an important decision to make, right? Are you getting a fair wage? Are you getting an honest day's pay for an honest day's work? And if not, then maybe you're going to change your circumstances around that. We do have the sun in your 8th house, and this is, of course, ruled by Pluto. And so this can be endings, new beginnings, change, transformation, evolution. The 8th house has to do with shared money and resources. So there could be something that you're figuring out here about your money or the assets and money resources that you share with another person. So if you, let's say you have a spouse or a significant other, you could be blending your money together at this time, or perhaps you're in discussions about, okay, how do we want to do this? Especially if you're changing your relationship status or anything right now. Some of you could have a parting of ways. So your things and assets and money that you used to share with someone, you're dissolving that agreement, that partnership, and you are bringing your own money back into your own bank account, that kind of thing. So you could have some changes going on there. You could be paying off a loan or taking out a loan at this time. You could have a little bit of a surprise that comes in about your money, with your second house being in the moon here, and it's ruled by Taurus. We're in Taurus season. Hopefully this is a positive change for you and money coming in rather than something surprising going out. But the 8th house can have to do with loans as well. Loans and inheritances. Okay, so you could be getting some money via those avenues as well. Someone could give you something, and this could be quite interesting. So, but it is that balance between what's mine is mine, what's yours is yours, and what's ours is ours, right? You could be figuring things out there. But certainly something is going on here with your financial sector. The 8th house also has to do with things that are hidden. Okay, and the second house has to do with habits, and so this can represent where maybe something that has been hidden comes to light. Hopefully it's not like someone's hidden credit card debt or things like that. There could be something that you haven't necessarily disclosed to a partner. Maybe you've got a secret shopping addiction or something, or especially if you're just partnering up with somebody and moving in with someone, you're like, okay, yeah, I got to come clean about my finances, because the 8th house deals with the hidden stuff. All right. But you could have some very pleasant surprise at this time as well. All right. So we have blessings coming in here for you guys. Yay. Okay. So hopefully some of you are getting something that is really quite wonderful. Don't forget, when you do get a blessing, to express thanks and gratitude, not just to the universe, but also to whoever might be involved in that blessing. All right. The more we give thanks, the more blessings we get. That's just the way it works, right? It's very nice energy going around. But the blessings card can also represent, yes, some of you might get something really great coming in, something can come to fruition for you guys. But this is also about recognizing, as far as like the 3rd or 4th time this card has come out, but this is also about recognizing the blessings in change, in transformation, in letting go, in just forging a new path forward, whatever that happens to be for you, right? Sometimes, we have to jump over a few hoops and hurdles to get to where we are today, to dig ourselves out of a rut. And then when we pause, we reflect, we look back on things, and we're like, well, number one, I feel like I have climbed a mountain and I've come over the other side and I'm feeling a little bit better than I was. This can be where you get some wisdom and deeper understanding, and you see the blessings about something that has gone completely sideways and something that has been incredibly challenging, right? It's like I see the blessing now, right? Because I was resisting change, or I was trying to hold on to something that wanted to run away. And then when we kind of look back, we're like, a blessing in disguise, right? Because the best blessings quite often are in disguise, but they usually do require us to do some work or overcome something. But this brings us wisdom, growth, brings us confidence. And so when we recognize the blessing in a challenge that has happened, and we see the good that has come out of it, or the good that is in ourselves, or what we've learned, or how we've grown, we yes, get more things to be blessed for, right? But it's the path to healing, right? Because we're looking at a negative situation or a challenging situation, and we're like, I see the blessing in that. And all of a sudden, we feel a little bit lighter. We feel a little bit brighter, because we have turned that negative thing into a positive thing, into a blessing. So your path to healing something here can be about recognizing the blessing in a challenge. We have the messenger of earth. Very nice. We like that one. We've got the 6 of water. And we have the 8 of air. So the messenger of earth can be where there's something coming to you. Okay, something coming into you, an offer, an opportunity, some money, something like that, right? This quite often does bring you something in regards to your finances, to your career, just something in your physical world, some material product here. It can be something really positive. It can be a gift. We do have the 6 of water. 6 of water is the 6 of cups energy, and part of this energy, it's a very sweet energy. Someone could be making a sweet gesture, could be giving you a gift of some kind. It might be something small, it could be something big, it could be something really wonderful. But in the 6 of water energy, it's something in the present moment, in the here and the now. And this can be 8 of air, where you get a sigh of relief, or it releases restrictions, and it's how you can find a little bit of freedom from worry, doubts, and fears, and all of that kind of stuff. So this can be something very wonderful for you that is coming in, and it's a genuine gift, a token gesture, whatever it happens to be. It can be something really quite magical, but whatever it is, it's here and the now. It's in the present moment. So this is beautiful energy. The messenger of earth can also be spending some money on something, okay, potentially. And with the 6 of water, it's something that really feeds your inner child, okay? You're not worried about it. 8 of air in this particular deck, the 8 of air is about rising above fears and worries and doubts and restrictions, freeing yourself, and seeing the blessings, or the blessings, there you go, or the positive things that come out of it. So it's like I might be spending some money, something that I really want, okay, not necessarily something that I need, and I'm not going to worry about it, right? Not going to worry about it because I deserve it, right? That kind of thing. So it's going to be a real wonderful energy. So you might be treating yourself to something at this time, okay? And especially if maybe you get an inheritance or something. I mean, even though there's a double-edged sword with that does sometimes come in. This is like, I have a little bit of extra money, a little bit of extra resources, and I'm going to do something nice for myself and maybe even for other people. With the 6 of water, this can represent the past as well. So again, there's some healing energy that's coming in here, something from the past. You're seeing the blessings. You're seeing the positive side of what was previously a challenging situation, because the messenger of earth is the equivalent to the Knight of Pentacles. You've taken things one day at a time, one step at a time, and you've gotten to where you are today. And this is like you're looking back on the past and you're seeing that I see the blessing now. I see the lesson that I had to learn, or I see the mountain that I had to climb, and now I'm feeling a lot better than I was. So you can see that blessing in disguise there. So this can be really wonderful for you. But this is an energy of just savoring the moment, taking things one day at a time with the messenger of earth. Remember, in the moon energy, stay grounded and protected in your energy. Of course, it can be very emotional at this particular one, very intense moon. But this is a reminder to be present and focused. Slow down with the messenger of earth, right? That Knight of Pentacles energy is painfully slow, okay? But it's because we're paying attention to details. We're savoring the moment. We're making sure that we know what we're doing. We're taking action with purpose, right? And it's not a fast moving energy. It's a very patient energy. So it's an energy that requires a lot of patience, right? But when we're in this energy, we're not rushing through life. We're savoring the joy and the blessings that life is offering us. And we, feel lighter when we do that, right? When we rush through life, we feel like life is passing us by. And we don't always stop and smell the roses. And when we get the Six of Water, stop and smell the roses. This is what the message is for you here, right? And when we do that, we can savor those sweet moments in life. We can savor, our accomplishments, or we can have a little bit more fun. Six of Water, right? It'd be about your inner child having fun. And then this lightens our mood, lightens our energetic load. So remember, whatever your situation is, stop and smell the roses every once in a while, right? Yes, we all need to make money. Yes, we all need a roof over our head. We need to pay our bills and all this kind of stuff, right? But the bills will still be paid. The money will still be made, but we can still find a little bit of time to savor today, right? To be present in our energy. And we can really realize the good that is around us and the good that's in our lives, right? We all have challenges and struggles, but this is Spirit wanting you to connect with yourself and with your life and your surroundings in a slightly different way. Material things come and go, right? But that journey through life, that's a journey. It's like a roller coaster. It's up and it's down, and sometimes we get an unexpected twists and turns. But ultimately, we need to find the joy and we need to find the fun in that life. Very important. So let's grab a couple more cards and see what we've got. Here's your first blessing. Life's blessings. Oh, lovely. Life bestows her blessing. She is the wind of change flowing through you, and this change is your blessing. Don't try and hold on, no matter how unsettling it may seem, for all will magically transform when the time is right. When you look back, you will see only love. A little bit of nostalgia may hit you with this full moon, I gotta say. There's your next blessing. A blessing through emotional upheaval. An emotional storm is forming and things may seem chaotic for a while, but as the storm subsides, a blessing is revealed. Respect all points of view, for we each view the world a little differently. Things are being shaken up for a good reason, and all involved will benefit. Always good to keep in mind. That's what I have for you guys. I hope there was something here for you. I hope you guys have a wonderful full moon. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.